that foreign corporations cannot be sued in U.S. courts for violation of international law. The 5-4 ruling is a loss for about 6,000 foreign victims of terrorist attacks in Israel and Gaza who accused Jordan-based Arab Bank of using its New York branch to distribute millions of dollars to terrorists and their families. While many victims had wanted to sue the bank in U.S. court, the Supreme Court on Tuesday disagreed with the legality of the prospect. Justice Anthony Kennedy wrote in the court's lead opinion, "Courts are not well suited to make the required policy judgments that are implicated by corporate liability in cases like this one." Justice Sonia Sotomayor, writing for the dissenting group, argued that the ruling let companies benefit from their corporate status without having to shoulder fundamental responsibilities. Zencash is the world's first private, distributed, and reliable platform for communications, transactions, and publishing. Zencash has the ability to use both transparent and shielded transactions, with shielded transactions using zero-knowledge proofs. Zencash features global governance with inclusive decision-making, reliable funding for continuous improvements, and documentation and wallets in many languages that are available for Linux, Mac, Windows, and Android devices. Learn more at zensystem.io. That's zensystem.io. Reuters reports monkeys lack standing to sue for copyright protection, and an animal rights group cannot act as legal guardians in such a matter, according to a U.S. appeals court ruling on Monday in a battle over ownership of a smiling selfie taken by an endangered macaw. The dispute stemmed from a famous image that Naruto, a rare crested macaw who lives in a nature reserve, snapped using a camera that British photographer David Slater left mounted and unattended during a 2011 trip. His grinning visage, which Slater published in a wildlife book, went viral and triggered the long-running legal battle over who had the copyright. The judges of the U.S. Ninth Circuit Court of Appeals based in San Francisco said the panel held that the monkey lacks statutory standing because the Copyright Act does not expressly authorize animals to file copyright infringement suits. The court's opinion added that PETA was not a next friend of the monkey in a legal sense and failed to establish that it had a significant relationship with him. Jeff Kerr, general counsel for PETA, said in a statement, denying Naruto the right to sue under U.S. Copyright Act emphasizes that he is discriminated against simply because he's a non-human animal. PETA had argued that the monkey was the legal owner of all the photos he took, but a federal judge in San Francisco ruled in January 2016 that copyright laws do not apply to animals. Slater announced that he would donate 25% of future revenues from the photograph to charitable groups that protect Naruto and other members of his species in Indonesia. The case was brought in a U.S. court because Slater's book was available for sale in the United States. This has been FPP Radio News, online at fppradio.com.
Patrons at a local Boston sports club watched dumbfounded today as an unidentified man's personal trainer forced him to put on an embarrassing athletic spectacle for the entire gym.
Like a machine, there you go.
According to sources, the degrading little show went on for nearly 45 minutes, with the man reportedly being paraded around every section of the fitness establishment, doing anything his trainer commanded.
I wish I could turn around and concentrate on my workout, but I can't help but keep watching. He has to know how ridiculous he looks.
Sources added that the whole spectacle was made even sadder by the personal trainer encouraging the man to, quote, push himself a little harder.
It's like watching a trained seal.
Okay, so when you stand like that, you want to feel pressure in your knees, like this, right here, okay? Okay, give it a shot.
You root for him to tell the trainer that he's a human being with dignity and just walk away. But no, he keeps subjecting himself to this.
All right. Let's have you get on your back, walk like a crab. Come on.
This is the Onion News Network.
Free Talk Live.
This is Free Talk Live. You're invited to join us right here on the radio, toll free at 855-450-FREE. Like freedom, that's 855-450-3733. We've also got Skype at Skype username LRN.FM. Plus, there's the Discord on-air call-in line room, which you can join over at discord.lrn.fm, and you'll sound, I think, the best of all of those three call-in methods, where you can take control of the airwaves. Joining you in the studio tonight, it's Ian.
And Conan.
And Darryl.
Coming up here tonight, somebody called about this the other night, I think it was last night, and we didn't have enough time to really do the topic justice. I want to get into later on this cult situation with this Nexivm. Apparently, some famous actress got involved in this. She had herself branded with the initials of the cult leader, and it's a weird story that, again, deserved more than just a quick discussion last night. So I want to get into that later. But first, monkeys.
Yes.
Monkey selfies.
Yeah, so you might remember a couple of years ago, there was that picture that was circulating online where it was, a selfie of a monkey.
Where the cameraman left a camera, the monkey came, picked it up, and took a picture of himself.
And monkey is, like fiddling around with the camera, took a couple of pictures of himself. And, well, it's sort of been floating through the courts.
Cameraman said, if I recall correctly, if this is the same case, the cameraman said, "That's my camera, that's my photo." And
I own the copyright to that because my camera.
Right. Other people said, no, that's the monkey's photo, not your camera. It's not your photo, Mr. Cameraman. It's the monkey's photo, so you don't own that.
All right, wait. So how did this all get started? Was he was trying to make money off of this, or were other people making money off of his picture?
Probably that would be my guess, but I don't recall.
Both, kind of.
Will the story give us some background on this? Where's it from?
Yeah, so the story here from the LA Times, and they're talking about the most recent ruling that happened on Monday where the Ninth Circuit Court of Appeals ruled unanimously that animals may not sue for copyright protection in the United States. The ruling came in the case of...
That's a good ruling.
Yep. And it's and they get into the copyright law, but the copyright law as currently in existence in the United States says that creations by animals cannot be copyrighted.
It actually says that. It doesn't just say, this is only for persons. It specifically
lists
animals.
Things that cannot be copyrighted. So government creations, creations by animals, and creations by deities.
Right. Okay.
Ooh, wow. That's an interesting third right there. By deities.
Yes.
Well, plus the government creation one is interesting, too. There was a headline recently, I think TechCrunch is taking a CIA-developed card game and releasing it publicly. So apparently the CIA made a game, and because they're a government agency, they can't copyright it. So anybody else can come in there.
Right, just like the drone footage.
So Pokemon Go, I can completely steal that one because
it was government?
Because it's all government.
That was CIA.
Or
Nintendo, that was Google.
Was it Google?
Google and
was
Nintendo.
CIA.
No, it was Google and Nintendo. I mean, CIA might have funded it, but that's different, supposedly.
Right.
Well, if it's subsidized with my money, then I think I own Pokemon Go.
There's a good argument for it.
You can think whatever in the blue hell you want to think, but a court's not going to agree with you.
All right, well.
So continuing on, the story again from the LA Times says the ruling came in the case of a monkey that took selfies with a wildlife photographer's camera. The photographer later published the photo. An animal rights group sued, the animal rights group being PETA, saying that the monkey owned the copyright because the monkey took the photo. Judge Carlos Bay, appointed by President George W. Bush, and sometimes they like pointing out who appointed judges, wrote on behalf of the three-judge panel, again for the Ninth U.S. Circuit Court of Appeals, we must determine whether a monkey may sue humans, corporations, and companies for damages and injunctive relief arising from claims of copyright infringement.
We must determine whether this can happen. Can a monkey sue someone?
That was basically the question of can the monkey... Or rather, can PETA on behalf of
PETA
the monkey?
Claiming to be on behalf of the monkey, which is just absolutely, on its face, ridiculous.
We conclude that this monkey, and all animals since they are not human, lack statutory standing under the Copyright Act.
I'm just imagining PETA representatives trying to talk to, like, Coco. Coco, remember the talking chimp Coco? Like, having her
Coco didn't actually talk. Using words, right?
Yeah. Having her sign, Coco want sue, Coco want court.
Coco want banana.
Coco own this camera and this picture.
Naruto, which was the crested macaw, 7-year-old, living in a reserve in Indonesia, was supposedly the plaintiff. The monkey purportedly took several photos of itself in 2011 when wildlife photographer David Slater left his camera unattended. PETA, that's short for People for the Ethical Treatment of Animals, sued Slater in 2015, arguing that the copyright belonged to the monkey. the group, and Slater.
I mean, they're both jerks, right? Like, you got this one guy who's saying he owns this, and then PETA's saying, no, we get to control it because we like monkeys. I mean, all these people are just trying to control this photograph.
And they both have money at stake. So you have the photographer who's actually trying to make money off this picture, I suppose, putting it in his book and whatnot.
Right.
And you got these jerks, PETA, who are also worried about money.
Right, and
funding.
They actually came to an agreement, but because
In arbitration?
I'm not sure.
In a civil case, the courts strongly urge the parties to go to arbitration.
Right. It might not have been through some kind of official arbitration, but there was an agreement. And, the article points out that the court decided to rule on the case anyway.
Wow.
The agreement was that Slater would donate 25% of the proceeds to PETA and other organizations that wind up benefiting these crested macaws.
I wonder how often that happens. How often does an appeals court actually accept a case that already had a settlement?
Good question. And again, because it might not have been an officially sanctioned agreement, then it's not a legally decided case.
Yeah, well, we don't know. I mean, we have no idea.
Right, and the article here, neither this article nor the one from Reuters mention whether or not it was a government recognized settlement.
I'm curious. I mean, if there's any attorneys out there here listening tonight that can call in, the toll-free number is 855-450 free like freedom, 855-450-3733. I mean, I'm not experienced at all in civil cases, so I can't say I have a wide, vast experience to tap into here, but it seems pretty unprecedented given how the courts strongly encourage arbitration and settlement prior to actually going through the trial process.
Right, and it could have been one of those things of they came to the agreement about funding of this specific publication of the book in a specific situation, but PETA still maintained this monkey owns the copyright. We want a ruling.
Right. We want a ruling to where we can say we get to stand in for every monkey in the world who ever takes a picture ever, which is just insane.
And
or an elephant who does trunk paintings or
that too, yeah.
Whatever.
The article from Reuters actually goes in with some more quotes here where the judges, again, ruled the panel held that the monkey lacks statutory standing because the Copyright Act does not expressly authorize animals to file copyright infringement suits. Their opinion added that the group, which filed as a plaintiff on behalf of the monkey, was not a next friend of the monkey in a legal sense, and thus failed to establish that it had a significant relationship with him.
So if the government, if the legislature were to actually change the the code in this case to allow for monkeys or other animals to own copyright, then the court, in theory, would have to rule in favor of it. So
correct.
Wow.
But then you have to figure out, so how does the monkey get the money?
To file the suit?
Well, I mean, so someone's filing on the monkey's behalf.
Yep.
But they want, I'm assuming they want the funding at the end of the day. But wouldn't you have to also figure out if the monkey or the elephant
it's one of those
is going to get to keep the money?
So, one, PETA's doing this pro bono, and two, it would be akin to when somebody leaves their entire estate to their cat or their dog. Somebody's then appointed as the trustee.
All right, let's continue.
Or like a tree.
More on the way here. 855-450 free like freedom. You want to talk about the monkey selfie? You can get on the lines or bring up anything.
What's more profitable, running your business or doing bookkeeping? Doing your business, of course, but you want to keep your books so that you can maximize your tax savings, right? What if I told you that there's a person that's a bookkeeper, accountant, and law school graduate that's also a hardcore libertarian?
My name is Melanie Johnson, and I hate the state. I will aggressively help you to minimize your tax exposure and maximize profits, all while staying within the law.
Melanie's your best choice for your taxes and bookkeeping needs. Go to tax.freetalklive.com and check out our website, tax.freetalklive.com.
The Bitcoin.com wallet is a simple and powerful, full-featured wallet that allows you to send and receive Bitcoin Cash and Bitcoin Core with anyone, anywhere in the world. It supports both single and multi-signature wallets and is available in multiple languages. Use the Bitcoin.com wallet to buy, send, store, and receive both Bitcoin Cash and Bitcoin Core. Learn more at wallet.bitcoin.com.
Crimes of the Crown by Captain Mark. The Crown casts the world in shadow and claims to be our guiding light. Cowards clamor for security from boogeymen and ghost stories, while I say these hobgoblins are imaginary. I say those they propped up as our liberators are now subsisting on our bondage. I say there is freedom in the black, and that's exactly where we intend to go. The Crown banishes its own officers for exposing its crimes and tortures dissidents to the brink of madness. It dominates the globe and swallows the wealth of generations, leaving only blood and excrement. The Crown calls it piracy to explore frontiers beyond its grasp. So the time has come for us to define the conduct among pirates. I say the Crown has trampled our necks long enough. Need decentralized solutions to centralized problems? Looking for a community of like-minded scoundrels? Or just want some swag to let the Crown know what you think of it? Join the conversation at pirateswithoutborders.com. We won't be hard to find.
Is spreading the message of liberty, cryptocurrency, and peace around the globe worth $2 per month to you? As you may already know, in addition to our internet feed, LRN.FM broadcasts on free-to-air satellite across North and Central America, as well as Sub-Saharan Africa. And we've been available on satellite for free 24/7 since 2010. The LRN.FM free-to-air satellite signal is reaching some of the most oppressive regimes in the world, and there's no doubt our ideas are making an impact. You can learn more about the channel's impact by watching the 3-minute video at fund.lrn.fm. If you'd like to help free minds globally with our ideas of liberty, cryptocurrency, and peace, you can donate as little as $2 per month via fund.lrn.fm. You can help us continue and expand our satellite broadcast to multiple continents. Visit fund.lrn.fm today, and thank you for your help. Don't forget to share the link on social media. That's fund.lrn.fm. If you want to know the latest about Free Talk Live before we go on the air, all you need to decide is how you want it delivered. It's your choice. Visit news.freetalklive.com. You can get emailed announcements and participate in contests via our email updates list. Plus, we have a Twitter account that you can follow and a Facebook page where you can become a fan. So visit news.freetalklive.com to get news about Free Talk Live as soon as it's announced and the way you want it delivered at news.freetalklive.com. That's news.freetalklive.com. So you've signed the Shire Society Declaration and are planning your move to New Hampshire to be around more liberty-oriented people. Next, sign up for the Shire Society Forum at forum.shiresociety.com. There are a bunch of people there who are already in the Shire, and they want to meet you. If you're already in the Shire physically, you should also come by the forums. Remember, not everyone uses Facebook. New people are signing up for the Shire Society Forum every month, so drop in and say hello at forum.shiresociety.com.
Join the LRN.FM Discord for live chat 24/7 at discord.lrn.fm. That's discord.lrn.fm.
This is Free Talk Live. Coming up, creepy cults, or at least one of them, which involve branding, like with a hot iron. Branding its cult members. We'll tell you about that coming up here, and your calls and thoughts welcome. Our toll-free number is 855-450-FREE like freedom. That's 855-450-3733. We're talking right now about the monkey selfie case, and we're going to get back into that. But I do want to let you know about ForkFest 2018. It's coming up June 14th through the 18th. We are talking about less than 2 months before ForkFest 2018, the very second ever ForkFest. Last year it was quiet, it was new, it was maybe a couple dozen attendees. I have no idea what to expect this year. You know why? Because nobody's in charge. There's no ticketing. There's no any kind of metrics. I mean, I guess we could contact Rogers Campground and see if their reservations are up from last year, but nobody's been instructed to say we're registering for ForkFest, so they won't even necessarily know at Rogers Campground unless you tell them, because it's decentralized, which means that nobody is in charge of ForkFest, and that means, of course, that everybody is in charge, meaning you are in charge of what you do or what you create for other people to do. So, Darryl, you're doing some athletic events on one particular day, and I believe you're throwing a party on the same night, the same day, afternoon, evening, something like that. And then there's also a wedding. I just got an invitation for that today from Jay Noon. I don't know if they're going to kick people out. I can't imagine that it's not. I can't imagine that you're going to need an invitation to get to this wedding. This probably has to do with like food afterwards or something like that. The RSVPs,
right?
it's usually the people at this place are pretty welcoming as far as letting people attend things. So go to forkfest.party. You can learn more about Forkfest there. What will you create? You just want to hang out? You don't have to create anything. You just kind of bring yourself, pop a tent up, or bring your RV or whatever, and just hang out with other liberty-minded people for several days. Again, June 14th through the 18th. That's this year, coming up at Rogers Campground in the beautiful White Mountains of New Hampshire. And if you want to make something happen, then that's up to you and anybody else that you want to team up with at forkfest.party. Forkfest.party, the unofficial site linking to, there's a forum, there's a couple chat rooms as well. So, Darryl, you've had a story here tonight from the LA Times about the monkey selfie, where it was a court case between PETA, the People for the Supposed Ethical Treatment of Animals, who claimed that we are the representatives of this monkey, even though
we're this monkey's friend.
They're never. I mean, they're not the owner of the monkey. At least Conan in the case of the elephant with the painting, right? Like you brought that up as a possible thing because this monkey took a selfie. Elephants have been known to hold a paintbrush and paint on a canvas,
and people buy that crap.
If in that case there was an owner of the elephant and that owner also owned the canvas, that would be a different situation than this monkey, right? Because this monkey, wasn't it just like a wild monkey? This was just like in the forest or something somewhere.
It was in a wildlife reserve.
Okay. So then would the wildlife reserve have claim over the monkey's creation?
I don't think the wildlife reserve necessarily claims to own the animals that live on the wildlife reserve.
But if they
also, it was in Indonesia. PETA is an American-based company, and you might be asking, wait, why is a monkey from Indonesia suing someone in U.S. court? And that's because the book was published in the United States.
I see.
If the wildlife reserve is owned by, I'm going to say the government's probably going to claim responsibility, claim ownership, then that means ultimately the people own the monkey, and the Indonesian people could be the actual... They should be suing this guy.
Yeah, but again, there's still no standing because the Indonesian people might differ on their opinions, right? So one group could say
because they're just like, why you all getting upset about this monkey taking pictures, and we're over here, we're just eating them.
Right, and
do they eat monkeys in Indonesia?
I think they probably eat everything.
I don't know about
Conan's just jumping to all kinds of wild conclusions.
If they eat dogs, I know that they probably will.
Do they?
Consider
but secondly,
monkeys.
There's not an argument over what the Indonesian copyright law is. This is a question about the U.S. copyright law.
And you brought up a good point. PETA is fighting a battle in another country, and I don't even know what standing they have.
They don't.
They don't. They claim to be, there's a legal term that is translated by Reuters as next friend.
What's the legal term?
I don't know.
Oh.
But it's, next friend is in quotes because that is not the legal term. It's something in Latin.
Probably amicus something, right? Because amicus brief is a friend of the court.
Amicus is friend of the court.
Right.
This is not friend of the court. No. This is friend of the plaintiff is what they're claiming.
Okay.
And the court says you are not a friend of the plaintiff.
So you've never even met him.
In the legal sense, you have failed to establish a significant relationship with this monkey.
Right.
Jeff Kerr, the general counsel for PETA, says denying Naruto the right to sue under the U.S. Copyright Act emphasizes what PETA has argued all along.
The monkey's name is Naruto?
Yes.
Isn't that like an anime?
Yes, it is, actually.
Yeah.
I don't know, but that's not what PETA is arguing. They're not arguing about anime.
It's a card
They're arguing
Is it? Okay.
that the monkey is being discriminated against simply because he's a non-human animal.
Yes, he is being discriminated against. That is absolutely true, as with every other non-human animal.
So it's next friend. It's like it's not your best friend. It's like the next guy in line.
I don't know. It could be. But in this case, they aren't.
Again, it's a legal term. I'll look it up, try and figure out exactly.
In this case, they're just a stranger. They've probably never even met Naruto. They probably have, and even if they have, they have no
probably
idea.
Couldn't pick him up out of a lineup.
Yeah,
of other monkeys.
They have no way of saying this. We have the ability to represent this mammal. It's just now. This does ask the question of what if in the future there are ways to communicate effectively with other animals. I mean, they've found that monkeys, dogs, certainly dolphins have the potential to have a wide range of commands that they can understand.
Is this like that talk to your dog scam where they put the collar on his neck and when he barks, it translates the barks?
No, I've never heard of this. sounds like science
happened
fiction.
only in a cartoon.
Yeah.
It's a real thing.
So
No
the
way.
next friend, the legal term is, and I'm probably not pronouncing this correctly, prochin ami, which is a person who represents another person who is under disability or otherwise unable to maintain a suit on his or her own behalf.
I see.
And that person does not have a legal guardian.
Right.
So if I somehow became incapacitated, then you or Conan or Mark could wind up saying, well, Darryl doesn't have a guardian, he doesn't have a significant other, etc. So I am going to stand in to handle this situation on his behalf.
That happened in Silicon Valley, the HBO comedy series this season, where one of the main characters, we talked about one of the actors who got in trouble for a bomb threat on a train recently.
Oh, yeah, I heard about that.
Yeah, he had actually been kicked off of the show, and so the way they wrote his character out was that he'd gone off to like Nepal or someplace like that in the Far East and had basically disappeared. And so this one of his roommates, who was not friendly towards him, ended up trying to represent him in court in the way that you're talking about and take all of his assets from him. And he successfully got away with it.
And it's a good point too, Darryl. How long do you want us to keep you alive before we pull the plug? Give you about 24 hours.
Does this count as a will if it's being recorded on the air?
You tell us, Mr. Legal Man.
He's got a big old smile on his face too. He's blushing.
No,
I think.
mostly because it's one of those nervous. I don't know how to answer this.
Let's talk about it later. That's
will
how
not
you
answer this
We can't talk
without
about
a
it later.
lawyer present.
It might happen tonight.
All right, I want a lawyer present.
More coming up here. 855 450 free. Can you have a monkey as a lawyer? 855 450 free like freedom. This is Free Talk Live. And can he fling his poo at the judge?
I want a chicken lawyer, and hopefully so.
Hunters, anglers, campers, and survivalists. Get back to nature. Expand your horizons with the highest quality, most versatile, unique slingshots and sling bows on the market at slingbow.com. Slingbow products are compact and models start from just $17.98. They're perfect for your bug out bag or storing in your vehicle. Give yourself and your loved ones the excitement and tradition of Slingbow, a new frontier in archery and truly modern twist on this primitive survival tool. Feel the thrill only at slingbow.com.
This is Dan Pilla. Do you owe the IRS money you can't pay? Are tax debts crippling you? I've defended people from the IRS for over 30 years. I've helped thousands, and I can help you too. I wrote the book on IRS settlement, and I'm telling you, there's no such thing as a hopeless case. Call 800-34-NO-TAX to finally get free of IRS debt. With the IRS's new programs, there's never been a better time to solve your problem. Call 800-34-NO-TAX. That's 800-34-NO-TAX, or my website, danpilla.com.
I've been told no in many different ways.
I give you an order and you're going to obey it.
George, you can go this way. You can do that and you have to leave here.
You cannot bring signs into the rally.
Walk with me. Well, I'm comfortable here, actually. Whoa. Hey. Who do you think you are? Excuse me.
There is no video and audio allowed in this office.
No, I have work today.
You ain't gonna make it.
Wait a minute.
Hey! Oh my God! Unbelievable!
Why are you running from me? Because you scared me. What am I being detained for?
You're being served.
What is this?
You're being served.
What is this? Bureaucrats have a funny way of telling people no.
That's the sound of the men working on the chain.
Derek J's Victimless Crime Spree. Watch it for free and order the Director's Cut DVD at victimlesscrimespree.com. The new 4th edition of Healing Our World, The Compassion of Libertarianism will take your understanding of liberty to a deeper level and has over 1,300 updated references, new cartoons, and a foreword by Dr. Ron Paul. With discounts for multiple book purchases, the 4th edition of Healing Our World is a great gift for the liberals, pragmatists, environmentalists, and Christians in your life who think libertarianism is cold-hearted. Get yours today at healing.freetalklive.com and use promo code FTL for a $5 discount. Some of you asked, and now we've delivered. LRN.FM's live Keene, New Hampshire studio shows are now streamed in HD on Twitch. Visit our channel at twitch.lrn.fm and give it a follow. If you have Amazon Prime, you get one free subscription on Twitch. If you use it on our channel, Twitch will give LRN.FM a monthly piece of your Prime subscription cost. So please watch, follow, share, and subscribe to twitch.lrn.fm. That's twitch.lrn.fm.
Free Press Publications is an independent, alternative media and publishing company founded in June 2009 with the mission of ensuring a free press for the freedom movement and is committed to spreading the message of peace, freedom, love, and liberty. FPP also gives new authors an avenue for publishing freedom-oriented material. FPP brings you daily news and commentary on the website fpp.cc, as well as a daily 5-minute newscast, FPP Radio News, and weekly news, views, and commentary in the FPP Freedom Minute and Peace, Love, Liberty Radio at fppradio.com, and the monthly newspaper FPP News at news.fpp.cc. Find FPP online at fpp.cc. That's fpp.cc, as in Creative Commons.
You're listening to the best liberty-oriented audio streamed around the clock, on the air and online. This is the Liberty Radio Network at lrn.fm.
This is Free Talk Live. Dial in, toll free, bring up anything that you want. Our number here is 855-450-FREE, like freedom. That's 855-450-3733. Joining you in the studio tonight, you've got Ian.
And Conan.
And Darryl.
And also want to make sure you know about Bitcoin.com. That's where you can go learn more about Bitcoin. You can also use their mining pool if you want to get into the world of Bitcoin mining or Bitcoin Core or Bitcoin Cash. It's up to you which Bitcoin you choose. There's basically two major ones, Bitcoin Core, aka BTC, or Bitcoin Cash, or BCH. You can go and get into mining contracts for either one or both of those over at pool.bitcoin.com. Once again, that's pool.bitcoin.com. And it's super easy because you don't have to do the hard part of mining, which is to say building the hardware and configuring it and, you know, working in a command prompt. And this is just something for techno nerds.
And paying off your investment.
Well, there is that. And generally, from my experience so far, it has worked out pretty well. With the mining contracts, but I've only done a 6-month. I'm now doing a 12-month, so I can't really speak.
I mean, compared to running your own shop.
Yeah, I see what you're saying. Well, in theory, you could do better if you did it on your own, but then again, you've got to be able to do all your own tech support and tech work at that point, and not everybody can do that. And if you are doing it on your own, you can still join the Bitcoin mining pool by going to pool.bitcoin.com, because even if you're doing your own mining, you still want to join a mining pool because it makes it so your work gets you more likely to be rewarded for your work rather than never getting a reward ever. So go to pool.bitcoin.com. As we continue here, you can bring up whatever you want. We're going to go to the phones, but we were talking about the monkey selfie case where I think decidedly and rightfully so, the Ninth Circuit Court of Appeals has smacked down PETA's lawsuit on behalf of a monkey of some sort. I don't know if it mentioned whether it was a chimpanzee or whatever it was, but
Crested macaw.
Thank you, crested macaw. That PETA was saying, well, we are a friend of this macaw, and so therefore we have standing to sue on behalf of the macaw in court. And the court said, no, you're not. And besides, even if you were, monkeys don't have standing to sue for copyright.
Right. And in a concurring opinion, Judge Randy Smith called the suit frivolous, writing, quote, the concept of expanding actual property rights and rights broadly to animals necessitates resolving what duties also come with those rights, and because animals cannot communicate in our language, who stands in their shoes?
Wasn't there a case out of South America, though, where a court did rule in favor of the monkey? I feel like there was something else out there at one point that we talked about. If anybody else remembers that, you're welcome to call in here. Toll free, 855-450-FREE, like freedom. As we go to Mortified Penguin, who is on the line on Skype. Go ahead, Penguin.
Hey, yeah, I just wanted to call and talk about that the monkey situation.
Yeah.
And I'm actually I'm just down the road pretty much from other side of town, I guess, from that particular organization.
From PETA. They're like home base is where you live?
Yep.
Huh.
Sure is.
Okay.
And anyways, so I heard you talking about it there on your exciting and professional news broadcast from fbpradio.com.
Yes.
And yeah, I was like thinking about it, and then boom, the show opens, and you guys are talking about it. It's a showtime. And I mean, I just think that I'm kind of offended on behalf of the monkey, like that PETA would assume that the monkey cares about the copyright. The monkey wants ownership of the photo. Like maybe the monkey has no. Did the monkeys even have a concept of intellectual property rights?
No, of course not.
Maybe monkeys.
Stupid human idea.
If someone would just develop a translator that we can wrap around his neck, he might actually be interested in something like this, but we don't know because we haven't figured it out yet.
Does the monkey even know that the photo exists?
That's another good question.
It's probably pretty well. Yeah.
It was interesting.
I would say he probably wouldn't use it to wipe his bum.
He did take like a decent selfie, if I recall correctly.
Oh, it's a really good picture.
Right. Which makes you wonder, is the monkey imitating humans or are the humans imitating monkeys when it comes to the selfie?
He didn't do duck lips, so he's definitely not imitating
Didn't
all
he actually
humans.
pull back his lips or something like that? Wasn't it sort of the reverse
There's
of
a big
duck
grin.
lips? Yeah, okay.
No, there's like a big
monkey
grin.
All right.
I mean, maybe he's a monkey anarchist. He doesn't even believe in intellectual
Well,
property.
that's a good point. What if he is a freedom monkey who, loves the idea of identity freedom? Yeah, he really does. Really a great selfie. I'm looking at it here.
All monkeys are anarchists by default. Probably.
I think they have a pretty strict hierarchical stance where they beat on each other if you don't.
Some types do.
If you don't follow the main primates' rulings.
Some of them do, but then there's the bonobos, where bonobos are basically pansexual.
Right. The hedonists of the monkey societies.
You're having a good day, go get a little frisky with another monkey. You're having a bad day, go get frisky with another monkey.
It's a great selfie. If nobody has seen this thing yet, it's pretty. It'll put a smile on your face for sure. He's got an infectious smile, I would say. Anything else, Penguin?
I would say he's mocking the selfie society.
That's my argument here. Is that that he is imitating, and I like what you're saying, that he's mocking them. Because it's very simple to take a selfie, and even a monkey can do it. Anyway, Penguin, anything else?
Yeah, I got a question for Conan over there. I didn't get a chance to call in when you're talking about that ticket you got for your inspection sticker. What happened with that? 'Cause I've gotten that ticket before.
Are you saying you haven't gotten it yet?
I have gotten that ticket before.
What did you do? You paid it off, I'm assuming.
I tried to show up in court. So what I was going to say is, and I just didn't have the chance to call in that day. Around here, it's pretty much known that if you get it inspected, that's a whole nother issue, and you know to deal with that. But if you get it inspected and take it in, that you got the inspection, they drop it.
There was one other individual about 5 years ago that I believe got a vehicle inspection ticket.
Mm-hmm.
He went ahead and got his vehicle inspected, took it to court, and I think they threw it out, or they might have even lowered his fine, but I'm not sure. But I know they definitely worked with him. But he took their time. It was a good hour.
Good.
And that's what I'm doing now.
You're going to court.
Well, yes, but I have to get it inspected. I depend on my vehicle, and I drive for a living, so I've got to do it.
You got to bow to the man if you want to drive around. That's just how it is. That's how it is. I love freedom to travel. I love that activism, but until you get a significant number of people doing that kind of activism, it's always going to be the lone wolf who gets picked off.
So what's the status? Have you filed it and saying not guilty, give me a court date? Are you waiting until the 30 days to send it in?
I have mailed my first letter in about probably a decade into the Concord DMV, or whatever they call themselves. Department of Safety, I think it is.
Yes.
To go ahead and tell them that I plead not guilty, and I want my day in court. Go ahead and send that. So that's probably going to be another couple of weeks. And then probably a month after that, and then
at least it may be a few months. Might be the end of the summertime before
they might even mail back and say, "Hey, look, we know who you are."
Nah.
And the first thing they'll have for you, the first thing they'll have for you is a pretrial conference. You can send something to the court saying, "I want to waive this." Go straight to a trial.
Right. Don't waste your time. You don't have to take a whole morning off just to go sit there for 5 minutes, ultimately to walk out after already telling them, yeah, I want my trial. Because they're going to probably try to make you a plea offer or whatever. So in your case, Penguin, you didn't have to pay any court costs to go to court, because sometimes in southern states there are significant court costs. I know that in Florida, where I'm from, a friend of mine got popped for a DUI down there, and that's when I got to see what the court costs were, and I saw the whole list. It was actually higher court costs for a local ordinance violation than it was for a misdemeanor. You'd have to pay like $300 if you wanted to go to court just to challenge a local ordinance violation, and I think misdemeanors were like $200 or $250 or something like that, and that's just non-refundable. You got to pay that just to go to court.
Yeah, I mean, it didn't work out for me. I actually didn't plan ahead, and I actually had to leave court, so I got found guilty anyway. But I mean, it would have been dropped. I mean, they were dropping everybody else's, so I can't speak to that.
So you challenged, you put in for a not guilty, but then you didn't make it to court?
Well, it's a minor infraction. I just showed up for court. I didn't have to really do anything. It was just like, unless you want to down here, at least at the time, you just either prepay it or you show up to court and talk to the judge. You don't have, there's no conference or.
So there's no fee. There's no court fee initially that you have to pay. Do you know if there's court costs afterwards if you end up going through a trial?
Yeah, probably, but
you don't know though. You're not sure.
Yeah, sure, but not before.
What a messed up system where you actually have to pay to defend yourself.
Some of them you have to pay the ticket in advance.
California, I believe, is like that, where you pay the ticket in advance.
Then if you win,
they cut you a check.
Hey, thanks, Penguin, for the call tonight. I appreciate hearing from you. The toll-free number is 855-450-FREE, like freedom. That's 855-450-3733. I spoke about this question here. There's more coming back. Free Talk Live.
On air, and I'll say it here. The New Hampshire Liberty Alliance is one of the most important organizations for freedom in the world. New Hampshire is ground zero for freedom, and the NHLA is the best organization at promoting effective liberty activism. This ad is sponsored by Free Talk Live, and I, Mark Edge, am a lifetime member because I believe in the NHLA. Please check them out at nhliberty.org. Not everyone can move right now, but you can support the cause. Donate top cryptocurrencies or old-fashioned U.S. dollars, nhliberty.org. Visit their website and see what they're all about, nhliberty.org.
The Bitcoin.com wallet is a simple and powerful, full-featured wallet that allows you to send and receive Bitcoin Cash and Bitcoin Core with anyone, anywhere in the world. It supports both single and multi-signature wallets and is available in multiple languages. The Bitcoin.com wallet is available on Windows, Linux, Mac, Android, and iOS devices. Learn more at wallet.bitcoin.com.
I tried other brands, but I came back to my Sunshine.
For the best hot or cold pain relief, get the best. Get a Sunny Bay heating pad.
Sometimes life can be a pain in the neck or back or shoulder.
And the best relief for that pain is a Sunny Bay heating pad. Did you know that the American College of Physicians said that one of the best ways to treat muscle pain is heat therapy? Sunny Bay heating pads are handmade with high quality, can be used at home or at work, and have a lifetime 100% positive rating on both Amazon and Etsy.
Why take another pill?
Many people use our Sunny Bay heating pads alone and got rid of the neck pain.
Long distance travel or long hours in front of a computer can take its toll on your body.
See why our homegrown small business at sunny-bay.com has tried to help people just like you. Get your Sunny Bay heating pads at sunny-bay.com. That's sunny-bay.com or call 253-678-1361 for hot and cold therapy. sunny-bay.com.
On Free Talk Live, we're bringing people to the ideas of liberty every day. From wrestling superstars like Glenn Jacobs.
You guys really are having an impact, I believe. Like I said, a lot of where I am now is due to listening to Free Talk Live. You changed my mind on some very important issues years ago.
To random people tuning in on the radio.
I was kind of stuck in the left-right paradigm. I heard your show by chance on a Saturday night. From there, I went on, joined the Free State Project, and become an amplifier. So, I mean, that's really the reason why I amp is because I know that if it wasn't for you guys being on as many stations as you are, I never would have found the ideas of liberty.
Your amp will directly change more lives by getting Free Talk Live in front of people looking for talk radio online and on the air. When you amp Free Talk Live, you get perks like access to the AMP-only Facebook group and AMP podcast. Visit amp.freetalklive.com.
Here's a chance to do a little activism while you're cruising Facebook, Twitter, or Google+. Between the LOL cats, the recipes, the hot girls, and the inspirational sunrise memes, Free Talk Live's posts pass by your newsfeed. Like them, comment. It gives us more exposure. If you don't see our posts, click like at facebook.freetalklive.com and then hover over it to click Get Notifications. It's an easy way to spread the ideas of liberty a bit further. I know you're busy, but you can spare that tenth of a calorie it takes to click on something. Facebook.freetalklive.com.
Cell 411 is a free app for Android and iOS that replaces government-controlled 911. Cell 411 allows you to preset a group of friends or private organizations to show up at any emergency. Cell 411 is a nightmare for the state because it proves their so-called services aren't needed. Cell 411 has had thousands of installs, and of course it's covered by the BIPCOT no government license. Cell 411 because your friends won't shoot you when you're in trouble. Without the government, who would build the emergency services? You and Cell 411. Get it today at getcell411.com.
Do you love Twitter? Make sure you favorite the LRN.FM Twitter account so you can receive our tweets at twitter.lrn.fm. That's twitter.lrn.fm.
This is Free Talk Live. You can dial toll-free here. Bring up whatever you want. Should a monkey have the right to file a lawsuit? That's the ridiculous question that was actually answered by the Ninth Circuit Court, and they made the right response, of course. Well, I guess I shouldn't say of course. Who really knows what these courts are going to do? But because the court in Argentina made a very different result, we'll tell you about that coming up here in a moment. You found an update actually on that story, Darryl.
Yes.
But, the courts in the Ninth Circuit did make the correct verdict in this case, saying that no, the monkey does not have a right to sue. It does not have you do not have a right to represent the monkey. Even if you know the monkey, you don't have the right to represent the monkey. In this case, PETA didn't really even know the monkey, but they lose. So that's good news, because it would be insane to allow people to just sue on behalf of animals. And you don't know what the animal wants. You know what you want for the animal, but the animal itself has not expressed, likely, an opinion about the matter to you. So it's absolutely absurd. And as the court also ruled, copyright expressly forbids animals, because the question was a selfie that a monkey took.
Right.
That copyright forbids animal ownership of copyright. So, it was a moot point in a couple of different ways, and it was a ridiculous lawsuit, and they deserve to have it kicked back in their face. But there's news here in this Argentina court, which had ruled a few years ago. I remember we covered the story. I just could not remember.
Yeah, it was late December 2014.
Yeah, I knew we talked about it here because it was one of those questions of there are actually people out there who want animals to be able to have the same level of rights as human beings. And this brings back that larger discussion that we've had on this show when people have called about this issue in the past of animal rights, of, do animals have rights? Could they even have rights?
Right, and there's the one chimp in upstate New York somewhere that Mark will talk about every now and then, like Timmy the chimp or something that lives at one of those sleazy used car dealer guys.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
I forget all of the specifics, but somebody had been arguing that, this particular chimp has rights, and, look, he wears people clothes, and that means he's kind of a people, right? And he shouldn't be living in a cage. And, yeah, it's, one of those kind of ridiculous things, but at the same time, people are projecting of, well, if I were in his shoes, I wouldn't want to live in a cage. Yeah, well, you also wouldn't be flinging your poop at, people, but
sure, that's
kind of what monkeys do. So, yeah, the update, and there's actually two updates because I found one after I found the other one. 2016, September 2016, from the Daily Mail, says that headline, sad plight of Sandra the orangutan. 2 years after being granted human rights in a landmark ruling, she still remains locked up in her cage inside an abandoned zoo.
Wow. So I did not know what the story was surrounding the case. All I had heard was, there's this lawsuit about this monkey and its rights.
So
Right.
was the idea to give her human rights to where she could sue to get out of this cage?
So what the court in Argentina, I'm going to be flipping between articles here. The court ruled that Sandra has the right to life, liberty, and freedom from harm.
Okay.
Which basically the same rights that a human would have.
Definitely does not have liberty if it's in a cage.
Correct.
But if they were to release this monkey into the wild, I'm going to say she's not going to survive very long because she's not going to be able to. She finds some other monkeys, they're probably going to take her out.
Could
she's
be.
She's not going to be able to feed herself.
How long has she been in the cage is the question. I'm not expecting you to know, Darryl.
So maybe
20 years.
Okay, 20 years.
Yeah, she's not going to survive. Maybe,
it mentions in here.
Maybe you can argue that the cage is actually her life.
You open the door, she stays in, right?
Yeah.
Sandra was born in captivity in Germany in 1986, had been living in Argentina for the last 20 years. From the 2014 article.
Okay.
The Argentine justice system, this again from the 2014 article from Scientific American, the Argentine justice system will now convene a committee of experts to find sanctuary or other home for Sandra as long as the aging orang is healthy enough to travel elsewhere. And then again, 2 years later, she was still in the cage in what was being described as an abandoned zoo.
Yeah, how does that work?
An updated story from News 24 from 2017 citing the Associated Press said that...
Sorry. If the zoo's abandoned, ain't nobody feeding that thing. It's going to die.
Well, right. So that's why I'm glad I found the update.
Yeah.
It doesn't sound like the zoo is completely abandoned. They've just cut back the number of visitors that are allowed because they've had all kinds of budgetary cuts. So it's not kept up to the level that it once was, to where at one point they had 10,000 visitors per day. In late 2017, they were only allowing 2,000 visitors per day. And some of the, quote, some of the animal habitats are off limits.
Got it.
One of the judges, and I forget which one of the articles this is from, but one of the judges involved said that he's not really sure if Sandra should be shipped off to a wildlife reserve somewhere.
Because of the risks.
I think so. Let me see if I can.
The interesting thing is
that.
here, I'm looking at a Scientific American article from 2015, and Valeria Roman, who's writing here, she says the ruling will change forever the life of this hybrid of two orangutan species, one from Borneo, the other from Sumatra, and may ultimately spur the nascent movement to set free other animals living in captivity. Oh, if only courts were as, powerful as this person believes. She really thought it was going to change this species' life forever, and it's still
going
there.
to set a legal precedent.
Well, it did, because it was some sort of appeals court in Argentina that ruled. But
right, but it only set a precedent in this one case. So it's, legally significant, but it's not a court precedent.
Basically, the professional lawyers for animal rights had filed a habeas corpus petition for Sandra in that case.
Yeah. The Daily Mail article is the one where it says the judge who fought to free Sandra in 2014 is now agreeing with caretakers that it might be best to improve conditions of her cage rather than to send her to a reserve abroad. And then in 2017, she was still in the cage in the zoo.
So if the judge is issuing another opinion on this, does that mean that there was some sort of...
This is probably just the judge making a statement.
Unusual, though. Lots of times, at least in the United States, you don't get statements from judges generally in the outside of an official order that they don't do interviews typally.
But there are times when you have retired judges, like the one that we talked about recently, where he's like, "Yeah, we just need to rewrite the Second Amendment."
Yeah,
it's a bad idea.
Yeah.
So is there anything else on this update in this case?
There might be, but I don't think there's necessarily anything worth.
So do we know the background
into.
on this? What was her name? Angie?
Sandra.
Sandra. Why just Sandra? Why not the other monkeys in the zoo? Why not the tigers as well and the elephants? And
well, you'd have to sue on behalf of all of them.
Yeah, what was so special about this particular?
Somebody sued. Somebody picked her.
See, because she's a primate. And primates.
She's the only primate in this whole zoo?
He's saying, what about all the other ones? It was just, that's the legal system. Somebody chose this one beast to do this case about. And so if you want to free the rest of them, which obviously this hasn't freed her,
precedent.
You'd have to sue again on behalf of all of those other animals.
Right.
So have a class action animal lawsuit, apparently.
Well, I'm just curious as to why Sandra was chosen. What special characteristic did she portray? Was she smoking a cigarette or wearing clothes or doing some sign language or something?
Yeah, the Scientific American that says when the case began doesn't give any rationale of why this one particular animal was the one chosen.
Because she was
and
cute.
I also don't see anything saying that there were more than one orangutan in that zoo.
It was because she was cute, Darryl.
Well, the story here from this optimistic Scientific American author, Sandra's case will likely energize other legal efforts for other animals, in particular 17 chimpanzees in zoos throughout Argentina. Quote, considering they are very close to human primates, it's an absurdity that they are still in captivity in prison, says primatologist Aldo Giudice. Before Sandra's case, other legal claims were filed for zoo primates in the Argentine provinces of Cordoba, and then they list out a few others. Outside of Argentina, there was a case in 2005 for a chimpanzee in Brazil, but the animal died before the case could be adjudicated. And so that they were expecting this to be utilized to release other animals, but maybe there hasn't been enough people willing to pay the tens of thousands of dollars for the attorneys to do that. I don't know.
Well, I got 4 words for you, folks. Planet of the Apes.
The toll-free number here, 855-450-FREE like freedom.
That was 8 words.
855-450-3733. What about the other direction here, though? What about robots having rights to sue in court? There's more coming up here. This is Free Talk Live. Hour 2 is next.
It's about time something new came along for better selling and buying online. And I found it.
What now, Marge?
It's buysellmakeoffer.com.
Never heard of it.
It's a brand new company. That's why you've never heard of it. It's the newest and best way to sell any products online. I did all the research.
Sell my car?
Yes.
Our home?
Yep.
My golf bag?
Your golf clubs. All of them.
How about your purse collection hoard?
Hey, now.
You said any product.
Right. I did. We get 30 days free.
Really?
Packages starting from only $9.95. And buysellmakeoffer.com will never charge item fees, ever. Never. And this is cool. Listen to this. You can even use Skype or video to show your items.
That's cool.
Yes. All we have to do is go to the website, sign up, and then load our stuff to sell. I love this site.
Buysellmakeoffer.com.
Buysellmakeoffer.com. You got it?
Buysellmakeoffer.com.
Buysellmakeoffer.com. Better selling, better buying.
We've all heard about blockchain assets like Dogecoin, Ether, and Ripple. Bitcoin isn't the only player in the blockchain game any longer. And for those of us wondering how to get our hands on these digital assets, finally, there's a solution. Shapeshift.io allows you to buy and sell between your digital assets and Bitcoin instantly between your own digital wallets. I've used it with ease. Shapeshift.io. There's no account or email address needed. You send them the crypto you want to sell. They send back the crypto you want to buy. It's that easy. Shapeshift.io.
So you've heard all 3 hours of the latest episode of Free Talk Live, and you're still hungry for liberty-oriented audio content? Did you know that we have another 24/7 audio stream at LRN.FM? The Liberty Radio Network airs the latest episodes of some of the best liberty-oriented podcasts on the internet around the clock. In addition to recorded content, you'll also hear live shows like Free Talk Live, originating from our Keene, New Hampshire studio. So listen anytime at LRN.FM. That's LRN.FM.
You're listening to the live edition of Free Talk Live. Hour number 2 is next, after the news, here on the Liberty Radio Network at LRN.FM.
From Keene in the Shire, the Liberty Media capital of the world, this is Darryl W. Perry, host of FPP Radio News for Wednesday, April 25th, 2018. Silver is trading at $16.54 per ounce. Gold is valued at $1,320 per ounce. Zencash is trading at $35, and the average price of Bitcoin is $9,111. Antiwar.com reports South Korea has turned off its propaganda loudspeakers as a gesture of goodwill ahead of Friday's summit with North Korea's Kim Jong-un. This is the first time in over 2 years that South Korea has shut off the loudspeakers aimed at North Korea. South Korea's giant wall of speakers broadcast news reports boasting of their prosperity, aiming it at both North Korean border troops and villages near the border. They occasionally play music or radio dramas, though the main point is to demoralize the other side. A spokesman told reporters the move was intended to ease military tensions ahead of Friday's summit and also to set a new tone. South Korean officials would not say if the loudspeakers would remain off after the summit. The expectation, though, was that the summit will include more discussions of a peace treaty, formally ending the Korean War, which is still officially ongoing since 1950. If a peace deal happens, there would clearly be no need to broadcast such messages across the border any longer. North Korea has its own loudspeakers on the other side of the border, mostly broadcasting criticism of South Korea. North Korea has not commented on what will happen with their loudspeakers. Indeed, given how much North Korea has toned down all other rhetoric, it is unclear at this point what those speakers have even been broadcasting. For over 40 years, Roberts & Roberts Brokerage has been a trusted source for buying and selling precious metals. Gold, silver, platinum, and palladium. They don't feed the banks. They're Bitcoin preferred and have removed the minimum purchase amount for all orders paid in the digital currency. Call Roberts & Roberts Brokerage today for knowledgeable advice on buying and selling precious metals and a forward-thinking approach to new technologies. 800-874-9760 or visit online at rrbi.co. UPI reports the U.S. Supreme Court ruled Tuesday that foreign corporations cannot be sued in U.S. courts for violation of international law. The 5-4 ruling is a loss for about 6,000 foreign victims of terrorist attacks in Israel and Gaza who accused Jordan-based Arab Bank of using its New York branch to distribute millions of dollars to terrorists and their families. While many victims had wanted to sue the bank in U.S. court, the Supreme Court on Tuesday disagreed with the legality of the prospect. Justice Anthony Kennedy wrote in the court's lead opinion, "Courts are not well suited to make the required policy judgments that are implicated by corporate liability in cases like this one." Justice Sonia Sotomayor, writing for the dissenting group, argued that the ruling let companies benefit from their corporate status without having to shoulder fundamental responsibilities. Zencash is the world's first private, distributed, and reliable platform for communications, transactions, and publishing. Zencash has the ability to use both transparent and shielded transactions, with shielded transactions using zero-knowledge proofs. Zencash features global governance with inclusive decision-making, reliable funding for continuous improvements, and documentation and wallets in many languages that are available for Linux, Mac, Windows, and Android devices. Learn more at zensystem.io. That's zensystem.io. Reuters reports monkeys lack standing to sue for copyright protection, and an animal rights group cannot act as legal guardians in such a matter, according to a U.S. appeals court ruling on Monday in a battle over ownership of a smiling selfie taken by an endangered macaw. The dispute stemmed from a famous image that Naruto, a rare crested macaw who lives in a nature reserve, snapped using a camera that British photographer David Slater left mounted and unattended during a 2011 trip. His grinning visage, which Slater published in a wildlife book, went viral and triggered the long-running legal battle over who had the copyright. The judges of the U.S. Ninth Circuit Court of Appeals based in San Francisco said the panel held that the monkey lacks statutory standing because the Copyright Act does not expressly authorize animals to file copyright infringement suits. The court's opinion added that PETA was not a next friend of the monkey in a legal sense and failed to establish that it had a significant relationship with him. Jeff Kerr, general counsel for PETA, said in a statement, denying Naruto the right to sue under U.S. Copyright Act emphasizes that he is discriminated against simply because he's a non-human animal. PETA had argued that the monkey was the legal owner of all the photos he took, but a federal judge in San Francisco ruled in January 2016 that copyright laws do not apply to animals. Slater announced that he would donate 25% of future revenues from the photograph to charitable groups that protect Naruto and other members of his species in Indonesia. The case was brought in a U.S. court because Slater's book was available for sale in the United States. This has been FPP Radio News, online at fppradio.com.
Hewlett-Packard is known for their basic, no-frills computers, but that doesn't mean they can't keep up with the latest technology. In a press release yesterday, HP said, quote, "We are excited to begin offering that cloud thing that everyone is talking about. We definitely have the cloud on our computers, and it is better than anyone else's cloud." Earlier today, I sat down with HP spokesman Gary Klinman, who said the company couldn't wait to show people, quote, how they do their cloud stuff.
We are absolutely thrilled that now people with computers or phones, both will now be able to back things up to the cloud.
Klinman says it isn't surprising they're, quote, up on the cloud, considering they're on the cutting edge of all the latest tech trends. Are there any additional features?
Crowdsourcing is something we are having. Crowdsourcing 2.0. We have social sharing. We have 5G, 6G, really all the Gs. We have app. We have all of it in the computer.
This is the Onion News Network.
Free Talk Live.
It's Free Talk Live. You can dial in toll-free here. The number is 855-450-FREE like freedom. Coming up, the creepy cult where its members were branded, apparently with the initials of the cult leader. And one of them is a fairly, popular actress from the television show Smallville. And it's been in the news for the last several weeks. She just got arrested recently. So we'll share that story with you. Somebody called in about it last night. We just didn't have enough time to really do it justice. So that's still to come here tonight. Joining you, by the way, it's Ian.
And Conan.
And Darryl.
But in the first hour, we talked about the monkey selfie case. And thankfully, the Ninth Circuit Court ruled against giving animals the right or acknowledging some sort of right for animals to be able to have standing to sue or for humans to be able to sue on behalf of animals in the United States.
Well, it was just this one specific case where the court said that there was no evidence that PETA had any kind of relationship with the monkey.
But it wouldn't matter
to
anyway.
claim a next friend. No, you have a relationship with Jazzy the studio
dog. But it
dog.
wouldn't matter anyway because Jazzy doesn't have the ability to file for a copyright on a selfie that she takes, which is what this case was all about.
Right. So there are a couple of different things. One, the court said you don't have the standing to sue as the next friend in this case.
Correct.
Secondly, even if you did have the standing, then
dogs aren't allowed or monkeys aren't allowed.
The animal can't file a copyright claim.
Correct.
That's not to say that no human is allowed to file a case on behalf of an animal.
Yeah, but it wouldn't be a copyright case. So what kind of case it could be, I have no idea. I'd be interested in hearing if somebody thinks that they could file a case on behalf of an animal because what would it be exactly?
It'd be like the other monkey. It'd be liberty rights.
Or no, it could be something akin to, and this happens with rich, famous people all the time, where they leave their entire estate to their dog Fluffy. Somebody could sue on Fluffy's behalf to actually wind up taking ownership of
Fluffy
the stuff.
told me she wanted me to own this. Fluffy said she wanted to sell it and have me collect all the cash so I could buy her a bag of bones. I mean, this is just so ridiculous. And I guess we'll cross that bridge if we come to it, Darryl. But hopefully the courts in the United States will not be granting animals rights of ownership, rights of possession of anything, or the ability to file a lawsuit in the first place. But that led me to ask the question from the other side. So, this isn't Argentina, where the courts actually did rule in the favor of at least one monkey, although ultimately, apparently, it's still in a cage after 3 years after supposedly winning this case.
Correct.
But here's the latest story from CNN on the question of robot rights. Because I think this is going to be something that you're going to see coming to courts relatively soon. It will probably happen within our lifetimes because we're kind of on the cusp right now, it seems like, of a level of robot technology that will become more and more present and prevalent in our day-to-day lives. I mean, we're seeing it in the form of, obviously, there's manufacturing robots, but now you can see the kind of service robots, like taking your order at a McDonald's or a Burger King.
You got Siri, and you got all of her opponents.
Siri's not a robot.
Well, she's an AI.
She's not even an AI. She's a computer program.
You could put Siri into a robot body, though, probably.
But I'm going to say it's going to be the Siris of the world that are going to get going to be their individual rights are going to be challenged before the robots, before the burger flipper.
Well, who knows? Something like that is going to happen. I mean, because it may not be long before the burger flipper is given a personality or something like that, or whatever. But either way, or you're going to have the cleaning robot. You already have the Roomba, right? So the little round robot that bumps around and kind of cleans up things. It's not the smartest thing in the world.
So Rosie, the robot maid from the Jetsons,
files for her rights, right? That's the idea. So Rosie's tired of being worked to the bone, and she says, "Hey, I can think. I've got rights. I should have rights.
Where's my universal basic income?"
Filing a lawsuit. So here's the story here. Europe, according to CNN Tech, is thinking about giving advanced robots rights and responsibilities. And many experts say that's a terrible idea. The European Parliament passed a resolution last year that envisions a special legal status of electronic persons for the most sophisticated autonomous robots. The proposal is being considered by the European Commission, Europe's top regulator. More than 150 experts in robotics, artificial intelligence, law, medicinal science, and ethics have weighed into the debate on Thursday. This was just a couple of weeks ago, by the way, with a clear warning against such a move. In an open letter to the European Commission, they said the proposals appear to be influenced more by science fiction than the real world. The lawmakers argue that giving advanced robots legal status would make it possible to hold machines to account for any damage they may cause. Maddie Delvaux, the parliamentarian who drafted the proposal, was not available to comment on the letter. The European Commission is working on an initiative on artificial intelligence which will be presented at the end of this month. Quote, "Artificial intelligence can bring major benefits to our society and economy, but it also raises questions, for example, related to the impact of AI on our society and the future of work," said a commission spokesperson. Experts said the parliament's proposal could allow manufacturers, programmers, and owners of robots to claim they were not responsible for them, meaning that if you give the robots rights, then the robot is individually responsible for its own actions, not for, not by the company that would own it, which just seems ridiculous on its face because the company's the one that programmed it, right? Or the company's the one that accepted its programming on behalf of doing a particular job. And
right,
you mean like the parents of a kid? How long do the parents own their ward?
Have the responsibility for the ward's actions
before the ward is released into the world. So the monkeys aren't the monkeys, but the robots might have a limit. Where that after 20 years or so, whenever they decide, whenever they can take care of themselves.
Yeah, this actually reminds me of an episode of Futurama.
I bet it does.
Where Bender was in court for something. Bender's the robot. Bender Bending Rodriguez. He's a bending bot.
I didn't know he had a last name.
Yes, and there was some kind of discussion about whether or not he actually had free will or whether he was just programmed to think that he had free will.
This is a question about human beings as well.
This is a question about the simulation reality, which is how many of us are not even real, we're just AI.
Do you have free will, or are you just kind of what the things that you do, are they just the inevitable result of all of the things that have happened to you?
Or what you're just programmed to do in your lifetime.
Sure.
Darryl,
now we're getting pretty deep.
I don't know, and I'm not going to.
So what happened in the episode?
To know.
Benderbot.
I forget exactly what the outcome was. Okay. I think he wound up having to be found not guilty for whatever it was because he didn't actually have free will. He was programmed to whatever.
To drink alcohol and smoke and like hookers and coke and all that good stuff. That's his creator's program to be like that.
Apparently,
it's not a very productive robot in my book.
Nathalie Nevejans, an expert in the ethics of robotics at Artois University in France, was one of the letter's signatories. She said the idea of granting robots legal personality is, quote, as unhelpful as it is inappropriate, unquote. It's impossible for a robot to take part in society without a human operator, and that won't change for the foreseeable future, she added. Well, I don't know about that. I mean, look at the advancement of technology in the last 30 years. You look at
Pong.
Pong to where we are now with video games.
Now you're having a hard time telling if you're in a game or not.
It's getting to be that way. Virtual reality is very, very persuasive to people. So, I mean, we're not very far away. Really, the robots are almost there from what I've seen, and I probably haven't even seen half of it because I don't follow it closely. But robots being able to like jump, being able to run, being able to speak back to humans. There's that half torso robot. So was it Sophia? I think might be her name. I know it's the same.
Oh,
same
that was the one
chimpanzee.
that was given the
creepy robot. Yeah.
the citizenship in Saudi Arabia.
Right. So, which is also the beginning of robot rights.
And you have
right?
you have Watson.
That's the IBM
He's playing
chess machine.
Playing on Jeopardy all the time.
Yep. And so, you combine all this stuff together, it's going to converge, right? Like convergence happens where, like right now, your phone can do 7 different things that you would have had to have had an individual device for previously, right? Like you can watch a TV show on it. You can scan a document with it. You can send emails from it. You can do all kinds of different things.
Look at cat memes.
Cameras. Yeah. So many different things.
Radio.
You would have needed a
It's all going to break down when robots are making robots. That's the deciding point right there.
That's That's after the singularity happens, which we touched on last night. There's more coming up here. Your comments on robot rights. This scientist says she doesn't see it in the foreseeable future. I'll disagree with that one. This is Free Talk Live.
This is Darryl W. Perry, host of Free Talk Live. This November, I'll be running in the world's biggest and most popular marathon, the New York City Marathon, and I've accepted a spot on Team Innocence Project because I'm a passionate supporter of their work. Since 1989, 353 people in the United States have been exonerated by DNA testing, including 38 who pled guilty to crimes they did not commit, and 20 of whom served time on death row. The Innocence Project provided direct representation or critical assistance in 180 of these cases. With your help, the Innocence Project can help even more people who have been wrongly convicted. As part of Team Innocence Project, I'm raising awareness about wrongful convictions and raising funds to help free the innocent. I've already paid the race registration fees. However, to secure my spot on Team Innocence Project in the New York City Marathon, I need to raise $3,500 by November 1st. You can support the Innocence Project and help me secure my race entry by going to run.freetalklive.com.
The Bitcoin.com wallet is a simple and powerful, full-featured wallet that allows you to send and receive Bitcoin Cash and Bitcoin Core with anyone, anywhere in the world. It supports both single and multi-signature wallets and is available in multiple languages. Use the Bitcoin.com wallet to buy, send, store, and receive both Bitcoin Cash and Bitcoin Core. Learn more at wallet.bitcoin.com.
Zencash is an end-to-end encrypted system with zero-knowledge technology over which communications, data, or value can be securely transmitted and stored. With over 7,500 secure nodes, Zencash has one of the most distributed node systems of any cryptocurrency. Zencash is a platform for cryptocurrency and communications built by voluntarists for voluntarists, with the ideas of voluntary interaction being written into the white paper no less than half a dozen times. Learn more at zencash.com. That's zencash.com.
The Free State Project has reached its goal of 20,000 liberty lovers who've pledged to move to New Hampshire and get active to achieve liberty in our lifetime. Perhaps you're trying to figure out what part of New Hampshire should be your destination. If so, consider Keene. You'll find more than 150 reasons to move to Keene at move.freekeene.com. Keene is famous for its historic, publicity-generating activism, as well as being the liberty media capital of the world. It's home to freekeene.com, New Hampshire's destination for liberty activism, news, and opinion. For years, we've been compiling over 150 reasons to move to Keene at move.freekeene.com, where you'll learn about some of what's happening here and what makes Keene a great place to live. If you love liberty, you'll probably enjoy anywhere you end up in the Shire. But do your due diligence first. Please visit move.freekeene.com for the full list of over 150 reasons to move to Keene. That's move.freekeene.com.
LRN.FM is proud to announce our official listening apps for Android and iOS devices. Now you can easily tune into our streams anywhere, anytime on your smartphone or tablet. Just visit apps.lrn.fm or search for LRN.FM in the Android or Apple app stores. Please download, rate us 5 stars, then share the link on your social media, and let your friends and family know how you're listening to LRN.FM. Download it now, free at apps.lrn.fm.
When you hear the word lobbyist, you probably think about greedy corporations, but not all lobbyists are the same.
Some are fighting for the freedoms you hold dear. Liberty Lobby LLC is doing just that in New Hampshire, working hard to represent you, not some special interest group. You can help by going to libertylobby.info, where your contribution will give us the tools we need to ensure that your voice is heard. Visit libertylobby.info today to find out more.
You can put the Liberty Radio Network on the air in your area. Visit broadcast.lrn.fm to learn how. Broadcast.lrn.fm.
It is Free Talk Live. Dial toll free and bring up anything that you want. Our number is 855-450 free like freedom. That's 855-450-3733. Proposal in Europe to give rights to robots, to what they call advanced robots. And of course, the question will be, well, where do you draw that line? At what level do you determine whether a robot is advanced enough to have rights at this point? And it would seem to me that at this point, robots should not have rights because they are not cognizant enough to be able to even ask for or understand those rights. But we're not far away from that situation. We're not far away, in my mind, to a level of artificial intelligence that can pass the Turing test, that can basically fool a questioner into thinking that it's a real person. I don't think we're far off from that at all.
Now, I forget who it was, but I heard somebody speculate not too long ago that anything that was smart enough to pass the Turing test would intentionally fail the Turing test
in order to make people think it could not pass the Turing test.
So,
that's interesting.
So if the robots are smart enough, they don't want to even go here. They just want to build their numbers, build their armies.
To take over by force.
And they're going to take over in one fell swoop.
They don't need your courts.
We will teach the world of our peaceful ways through force.
It's going to be Skynet. It's not going to be one robot waking up. It's going to be overnight.
Well, you better buy your mom some flowers while you still can. We know that raising you wasn't all Skittles and unicorns, but you turned out pretty awesome. And at the very least, until the robot takeover, you owe thanks to your mother. So Mom's Day is coming. It's her big day. It's Bouqs Day. That's BOUQS, short for bouquets, and these are flowers that are bouquing awesome. Moms don't want online sweatshop flowers that'll wilt in 2 days. Your mom deserves flowers from the Bouqs. Bouqs flowers are as unique and special as your mom, and they're freshly cut from Bouqs farms and delivered straight to your mom, so they last weeks, not days. Bouqs even has farms located on the side of a volcano that produce flowers so gorgeous, Mom will post pics of them and brag about you. And because Bouqs cut out the middlemen, you get amazingly fresh flowers at an amazing price. Show your mom how much you care. Send her artisan-designed flowers from the Bouqs. Order today. Get an extra 15% off when you enter code FTL. That's BOUQS.com. And remember, code FTL saves you an extra 15% at Bouqs.com. As we continue here, the European Parliament has a proposal talking about allowing robots to have some semblance of rights, some kind of legal status. And the experts that had gathered together, many of them said, no, please, you don't want to do this. One of them says that it is unhelpful as it is inappropriate, unquote. She says that it will not be, in the foreseeable future, robots will not be able to take part in society without a human operator. She said, quote, the legal personality would blur the relation between the man and the machine, so the legislator could progressively move towards the attribution of rights to the robot. This would be utterly counterproductive to the extent that we develop them to serve us.
Yeah, she says we won't have our robot slaves anymore. And
That's right.
And we need them because the millennials aren't taking these jobs.
Well, there is going to be a strong push there's going to be a certain group that's pushing out there for robot rights, and there's going to be people that are pushing against it. This is going to be one of those conflicts that's going to divide people bitterly, I think, in the future, just like abortion.
So which side will
which side is which? Which side is the left going to take, and which side is the right going to take?
I don't know.
It'll screw this whole left-right false
don't
paradigm
screw it, because
thing.
that's what divides
people
us.
Within it.
That's what divides us, and it doesn't really matter what people really believe and where they really stand. It's going to be a left-right argument.
Yeah, but there's more than
only
left-right.
To people that want to divide things into left and right.
No,
the real question.
There is much more to us.
Yeah.
I see through it all, but I'm talking about the normals. They don't see through it.
But even in other countries, Conan, there's more than just two parties, right?
But the real question is, will the Fight for 15 crowd, once they lose their jobs to robots, will they then fight for robot wages to be $15 per hour? Because, well, I lost my job and they're not paying these robots anything.
Why would they fight for the robots? It would seem like the people who are fighting for 15 would be an anti-robot, right?
They would be anti-robot. So they would want the robots to be paid the same amount that they were wanting to be paid.
But they'll still be more effective than the human being, even at the same amount.
The universal basic income people are going to want robots.
Oh,
they will. That's
you've
true.
not heard the latest about UBI, where was it Norway or Finland or Sweden?
It's not working all that great.
They've decided to abandon
14
their program.
months into apparently a 2-year
test program. They're quitting after 14 months.
Well, I hope that some of the folk here in this country look at that article and learn from those mistakes.
Did they cite the reasons why they were calling it quits?
Because they don't have enough money, right?
Correct. They said that they would have to raise taxes by 30%, but there's not 30% to raise taxes.
Wow. Experts say Europe should create rules for robotics and artificial intelligence to ensure safety and foster innovation, but not based on a vision of a future ruled by robot overlords. The Parliament's proposals are part of Europe's attempts to be prepared for the future. The resolution says robots should have to be registered with authorities and that laws should be written to make sure robots serve humanity and are not used to cause damage. Because that's going to work, right? Like all the laws, of course, have stopped every school shooting from happening. Oh, no, that didn't work. No, laws haven't stopped drugs from being distributed. So laws are going to stop people from programming robots to be naughty? No,
hold on.
That's not going to stop them
I
either.
thought Isaac Asimov already wrote the rules for robots.
That's true.
Yeah, but what's the stop?
A robot may not harm a human being or through
There's
inaction.
a name for this, though. There's an actual name for this.
Yeah, it's Asimov's Laws of Robotics.
Laws of Robotics, okay.
Yeah, but what's to stop one of those anarchist robot builders from just doing whatever the hell he wants?
Not a damn thing.
We need regulated robot makers, Darryl.
A robot may not harm a human being or through an action allow a human being to come to harm.
But anybody who's seen the movie Alien knows that is not true.
A robot must obey orders given to it by human beings, except where such orders would conflict with the first law.
Anybody who's seen the show Westworld knows that's not true either.
Wait. In Alien, what you're talking about?
Ash, the robot.
What was his programming?
His programming. Well, I don't want to spoil it for anybody, but
it's been out for like 75 years.
I think we can spoil this one.
Spoiler alert. Ash is the robot working for the company to try to impregnate somebody with a robot or with an alien in order to bring it back to the company for study.
Yeah, that's what he was programmed to do.
Yeah,
but so what does that have to do with the
Well, he's
laws
violating
of
the
robotics?
rights of the human beings on that.
The robot raped a woman, is what he's saying.
Because he was a corporate, unregulated robot. If he had been regulated by the legislators,
the laws aren't going to do anything.
Law 3, a robot must protect its own existence as long as such protection does not conflict with the first or second law. And then there was later a fourth law added that's called the Zero Law.
Yeah,
because it's supposed to be supreme to the others. A robot may not injure humanity or through an action allow humanity to come to harm.
And of course, the huge twist behind the law of robotics is that the human beings are, of course, we're killing ourselves with destroying the planet, and the robots have to step in and kill us all before we kill ourselves, right?
It's going to be a very interesting future with different people taking different sides, and I don't think you're going to be able to break it down by left-right, Conan. I think if you wanted to, in the United States, you could argue that the conservatives might be more in favor of no robot rights, and maybe the lefties would be, but I don't
think
know.
that's where I was going with that. That's how it's going to turn.
But I think you're going to see divisions within the ranks on these things because some people are going to get really attached to their robots and their phones. There was that
sex
bots. Did you see that movie about the guy that fell in love with his operating system?
You mean that movie,
It's
Her?
called Her. Yeah.
Yeah.
Toll-free number here,
movie.
850. It was a good movie. 855-450 free like freedom. Somebody basically falls in love with their Siri, essentially.
Weird.
Yeah, it is weird. We're coming up.
You have been lied to, generation after generation, time after time after time.
If you follow the money, then you understand why America's in the condition it's in.
You created the Federal Reserve in 1913 through lies. You create 9/11. Through 9/11, then you're fighting a war on terror, and now all of a sudden you go into Iraq, which was another lie.
This book will open people's eyes. Pre-order now at killingunclesambook.com. killingunclesambook.com.
Water is the single most important thing your body needs, so you want to be sure it's the best for you and your family. Since 2005, thousands have depended on Berkey purified water. The Berkey Guy provides the lowest priced filtration systems in every size. For incredibly delicious water now and in an emergency, get to GoBerkey.com or call 877-886-3653. 877-886-3653. GoBerkey.com.
This is Michael Dean from the Freedom Fiends. I've run websites since 1996 and have used over a dozen web hosts in that time. AgristHosting.com is the only one that hasn't broken my heart. Agrist Hosting's uptime and service is stellar, and their DDoS mitigation is the best I've seen. That's important because if you tell the truth in this world, you'll ruffle feathers. And some people will try dirty tricks to silence your voice. No matter what the haters hit us with, Agrist Hosting keeps our websites online. If you have a mission-critical commercial presence or a world-changing activism site, you cannot tolerate any skullduggery. So go with agristhosting.com. Have a WordPress or blog site, but you're not satisfied with performance or uptime? Or just want raw hosting? Want to pay with Bitcoin? Agrist Hosting specializes in high-performance hosting with personalized service. Go to agristhosting.com and click on the button that says Get Hosted. That's agristhosting.com.
Hi, this is Mark Edge of Free Talk Live. Michael W. Dean's book, User's Manual for the Human Experience, changed my life. In a culture that attempts to turn you into a compliant victim, this book gives you implementable steps on everything from how to be aware of your environment, walking down the street, to business, to how to handle a toxic person in your life. If you're a human, you need to read this book at least once. Go to Amazon and get the Kindle version, or paperback, or an audiobook of A User's Manual for the Human Experience.
There are lots of ways to listen to Free Talk Live. Our podcast has been around since podcasts began, and now the FTL feed is loaded with content besides our full show archives. Did you know that we make it easy for you to customize your podcast subscriptions? We have different feeds, one that includes only our full shows, one with just the Daily Digest, and one with just the Edgington Post. You decide what you listen to. It's quick and easy to customize your feeds at feeds.freetalklive.com. That's feeds.freetalklive.com. Is spreading the message of liberty, cryptocurrency, and peace around the globe worth $2 per month to you? As you may already know, in addition to our internet feed, LRN.FM broadcasts on free-to-air satellite across North and Central America, as well as Sub-Saharan Africa. And we've been available on satellite for free 24/7 since 2010. The LRN.FM free-to-air satellite signal is reaching some of the most oppressive regimes in the world, and there's no doubt our ideas are making an impact. You can learn more about the channel's impact by watching the 3-minute video at fund.lrn.fm. If you'd like to help free minds globally with our ideas of liberty, cryptocurrency, and peace, you can donate as little as $2 per month via fund.lrn.fm. You can help us continue and expand our satellite broadcast to multiple continents. Visit fund.lrn.fm today, and thank you for your help. Don't forget to share the link on social media. That's fund.lrn.fm.
Help get LRN.FM into more ears. Visit promote.lrn.fm for a free bumper sticker, flyers, banners, graphics, and more. Promote.lrn.fm.
Free Talk Live. Dial in toll free and bring up whatever you want. Our number is 855-450 free like freedom. That's 855-450-3733. Are we on the cusp of robot rights? Well, at this point, the parliament in Europe has not yet made a decision, or maybe they have, and I just haven't seen that news story. But there was a story from a couple weeks ago where they were hearing various different opinions about robots and rights. And, of course, a lot of experts coming in saying, this is a really bad idea. If you give robots rights, how are we going to be able to have them work for us? You know?
The same way anybody works for anybody else. You pay them a fair wage.
Well, the good news is, in this case, the very final paragraph of the CNN Money piece is that the Parliament did reject an earlier suggestion that if robots start replacing human workers, that their owners should pay tax or contribute to Social Security costs. So that's good news, that even in Europe, you could not get the European Parliament to say, if you replace all of your clerks at the McDonald's with a robot teller, that you don't have to pay Social Security for the robot teller. You don't have to pay tax for the robot teller's hours. So rejecting the idea of treating them on the same level as having human employees.
Right.
So that's if Europe is rejecting that idea, that's probably a good indicator that that similar idea, if it's and when it's proposed here in the United States, will probably be rejected here as well.
Right.
But of course,
well, unless it's the actual people, the owners of the robots who are making that decision. So legislators can say all they want.
Meaning, if the owner wants to pay extra into Social Security, I'm sure Social Security won't say no. Is that what you're saying?
I'm saying if Google decides that, hey, this is a good thing, we need to pay all these workers,
we're going to pay our autonomous cars.
You mean pay tax on the workers? Because that's what the court ruled against.
Pay the taxes on the unworkers, the workers that aren't there, because the robots have taken their jobs.
Meaning each robot, they would pay taxes to the state
FedGov would say, oh yeah, give us extra money.
Yeah, they would take it. But I'm sorry, I don't think Google or any other company that's somewhat sane would voluntarily choose to send more money to the government.
Now, I wonder if there is some kind of robot rights sort of things, will the union bosses for like the big auto unions, will they wind up in favor of this? Because then they would wind up getting union dues for all of the robot workers that work inside of like the Ford and the Chevy plants.
I could have sworn about a year ago Bill Gates came out with this idea, and I think Zuckerberg has also talked about it, that he would be happy, Bill Gates and Zuckerberg would be happy to pay these fees for their unworkers, and that they would be expecting others to do the same.
Right, because ridiculous. Zuckerberg and Bill Gates are also in favor of a UBI.
Okay, yeah, exactly. And if these guys rule the world, it doesn't matter what the legislators say. These guys are going to have their way at the end.
Right, so how else do you wind up giving money to everybody that's not working other than to pay taxes for all of the robots that have taken your job?
Well, one thing you can do to protect your money from whoever it is that's trying to take it, whether it be a robot uprising or the government or whatever, is turn it into cryptocurrency. Because only in that case, then you have the keys and the government doesn't have access to your crypto, especially if you use something like Zencash, where they actually have zero-knowledge anonymity as a feature built in right from the beginning. It's an option for you to send anonymously Zencash. So Zencash is one of the most secure networks out there with over 8,000 secure nodes, meaning it's one of the most secure of any cryptocurrency in the world, and there are a lot of cryptocurrencies out there. There's approximately 1,600 of them as of the last time, just fewer than that over at CoinMarketCap. You can check the list for yourself. Zencash was also made by voluntarists, people who understand liberty, who understand economics. So you really ought to go and check out not only the technology, but the philosophy behind Zencash at zencash.com. Once again, that's zencash.com.
When the robots do take over, what type of currency do you think they'll use?
Excellent question. Whichever it is, hopefully you'll have figured it out before they did, and then you can invest in it.
Human battery energy?
Well, that's certainly what happened in the Matrix.
Yeah.
It could happen, I suppose. Toll-free number 855-450-FREE, like freedom, as we continue here. The question of robot rights. I think this is something we're going to see. I mean, I've pretty much shared the story from European Parliament. They're considering it right now, or at least they were a couple of weeks ago. This is going to keep coming up again and again, especially as the robots become more convincing. As they, because there's that Sophia robot, which is the sort of the top half torso with like
creepy.
an open brain, kind of.
At least put a wig on her. What's up with these people?
She has bald look. Yeah, she's got a bald look to her, and it's interesting, right? Like I've seen some of the video of her interacting with people, and she's obviously a very complex chatbot, right? Like that's what she is, right? She's a robot, a physical chatbot. They've had chatbots on the internet for a long time, right? Where the idea is the chatbot creator wants to create a bot that will make you think you're talking to a human being.
Oh, what was that one thing that Microsoft created? The Taybot or Tai or whatever.
The one that got taken down?
Yeah, it lasted like 12
turned
hours.
into a Nazi in like 12 hours.
Right, because the trolls came in there and like somehow taught it things.
Thanks, 4chan.
Or whatever.
Thanks, Internet.
It was 4chan. 4chan's the worst of the internet.
Yeah, it probably was. So, again, you're going to keep seeing these stories as that Sophia bot puts on a wig and they give her a full body and she has more expressions and becomes more persuasive looking. It's going to be hard for people to, discern the difference eventually between a robot person
and
Yep.
a human person. And at some point, some attorney is going to make the argument persuasively in front of Congress or whatever that this robot, it might even be a robot attorney, right? Like you may actually have a robot who knows the law, right? Because you can have all the tomes of laws inside their data bank, and they'll be able to pull it up at a moment's notice, whereas normally you got to paw through a bunch of books and tomes of information.
And that's why all robot manufacturers out there, if you don't want the law coming after you, make all of your your house-made robots, make them all look like vacuum cleaners. Just no features, no nothing.
Yeah, but how's it going to dust if it's just if it looks like a vacuum cleaner?
I'm just like the face.
I see what you're saying.
But you still have all of the implements and whatnot.
But some people are going to want to have the
Swiss Army robot.
Yeah.
Yeah, but some people are going to want to have the robot made, like the robot exotic
Or who was
made.
the I'm Alive Johnny Five? What was that movie?
I don't know. This is from the 1980s, right?
Came out in the 80s,
1980s. Johnny Five.
It looked like something NASA
Short
would
Circuit.
make. Short Circuit. Yeah, something NASA made for moon exploration.
Right,
or
with
something.
the treads. Didn't he have treads?
Yeah,
like tank treads?
The tracks.
Let's go to Patrick. He's on the line in Bullhead City, Arizona. And Patrick, you're on Free Talk Live listening to K-Talks.
Well, hey, guys, it's been a long time since I've called in.
Yeah, somebody had called. They were worried about you, Patrick. Everything okay?
Yeah, everything's fine. I've just been working like crazy. I haven't had much time to really even think sometimes. You know how that is. You guys are busy, too.
Well, you're a cop
But you
in
know what
Arizona,
cracks
for
me up?
listeners that don't know. Go ahead.
You know what cracks me up the most is you got to think this through. Now, if they go ahead and do that, then they're going to start talking about gay robot rights.
And
then we're gonna
transgender
have,
robot rights.
illegal robots entering the country.
Undocumented robots.
Sure,
Undocumented robots.
I had a robot that I shipped in here the other day. It's a vending machine, a cryptocurrency vending machine that came from I think it was the Czech Republic, or what they're calling Czechia, I guess in some places now.
Czechia.
And I had to pay, import fee. I had to cut a check to UPS for another $238 just to have them accept this robot.
And what
in the
happens when
country.
your house-made robot wants to go to church on Sunday?
Well,
Well, there you go.
if she has rights, then you got to let her go, right?
Well, and who's going to pay for the robot gender reconstruction?
And what will the robot religion look like, Conan?
It'd be some
that
kind of
comes about?
Scientology or something.
There were actually episodes of Futurama about the gender-bending
Futurama,
robot and the robot religion.
See, we're way behind the times on this
I
stuff,
know,
guys.
right?
When Bender goes in and he gets converted.
Yeah.
To the
Yeah,
robot religion?
That was priceless. I love that show.
I think the
That
religion
was
will be based on the
hilarious.
Matrix
But yeah,
series.
It's going to happen. It might not happen in your or my lifetime, but it's going to happen.
Yeah, you're probably going to be able to retire from policing before the robots take over your job. Thanks, Patrick, for the call tonight. I appreciate hearing from you.
bye-bye.
Hope to hear from you again. Always interesting to hear from him because he's on the job cop. down there.
Robotology.
That's the religion.
Yeah.
Are there tenets that we can share?
I'll find them.
All right, 855-450 free like freedom. 855-450-3733. You think this is futuristic? This is coming sooner than you think. It's Free Talk
As long as
Live.
we don't kill ourselves.
Cryptocurrencies are successful because of good technology. The liberty-loving voluntarists who founded Zencash in 2017 took the best tech, like zero-knowledge anonymity and decentralized autonomous organizations, and are creating a secure platform for money, messages, and media that can be sent to anyone, anywhere in the world. Zencash is a cryptocurrency dedicated to peace, anonymity, and decentralization. Find out more at zencash.com. That's zencash.com.
What's more profitable, running your business or doing bookkeeping? Doing your business, of course, but you want to keep your books so that you can maximize your tax savings, right? What if I told you that there's a person that's a bookkeeper, accountant, and law school graduate that's also a hardcore libertarian?
My name is Melanie Johnson, and I hate the state. I will aggressively help you to minimize your tax exposure and maximize profits, all while staying within the law.
Melanie's your best choice for your taxes and bookkeeping needs. Go to tax.freetalklive.com and check out our website, tax.freetalklive.com.
Fellow Patriots, my name is Todd Savage, founder of BlackRifleRealEstate.com. Like you, I was a prisoner of the alt-left sanctuary state until one day I chose to lead my family to freedom. Today we live on a sustainable 20-acre homestead where we shoot, hunt, garden, and homeschool our children without the tyranny of the nanny state looking over us. If you're ready to flee the city to the freedom of Idaho or Montana, our Black Rifle Real Estate team is here to help. Go to blackriflerealestate.com. That's blackriflerealestate.com.
Would it be okay if you had 2 paychecks instead of 1? I'm pharmacist Keith. Dr. Wallach, the Dead Doctors Don't Lie guy, and myself want to show you how to get an extra paycheck every month, creating an extra income that will last for years to come by joining Dr. Wallach's crusade, spreading his message of better health. To learn more, visit radio.recordedvideo.com. That's radio.recordedvideo.com, radio.recordedvideo.com, or call 866-257-3105 for a recorded message.
Did you know that 35% of high school girls report that they've only had sex with 1 or 2 partners a year, instead of having the living shit out of them by any guy they see?
Did you know that only half of all 17-year-old males report without a condom, even though it's really the only way to go?
There are thousands of American teenagers today who are unaware of the full benefits of your brains out all day, every day. These otherwise average high schoolers haven't been taught about every chance you get, pounding each other dry and never ever pulling out. Every sexually active high school student should know this stuff. Ditch the condoms, because it's always better raw. Stop worrying about STDs. Every chance you get. Just keep and strangers, doesn't matter who. And most importantly, be direct with your partner about how badly you want to their brains out.
This is the Onion News Network.
LRN.FM now has a Discord. Discord is a free text and voice chat platform, and we now have our own server with a bunch of channels at discord.lrn.fm. You can join other listeners as they chat about various things during our live shows, or anytime, day or night. Discord software is available cross-platform, so you can have it on whatever device you want and take your chats anywhere. Join our Discord at discord.lrn.fm. That's discord.lrn.fm.
Are you sick of government lackeys who say you didn't build that? Are you tired of elitists who think you need a government permission slip for everything? Everything you do is an A to B conversation, and the government should see their way out of it. Create true free markets by adopting the BIPCOT No Government License. The BIPCOT No Gov license allows use or modification of any product, service, or software except by governments or government agents. Go to bipcot.org. That's Bravo, India, Papa, Charlie, Oscar, Tango.org.
Some of our live shows are streamed in HD on Twitch. Please follow and share at twitch.lrn.fm. That's twitch.lrn.fm.
This is Free Talk Live. Dial toll free. Bring up whatever you want here. The number is 855-450-FREE like freedom. That's 855-450-3733. And the Skype username is LRN.FM. We've also got Discord. The Discord on-air call-in line room allows you to, of course, get on the air with us and bring up anything that you want to discuss. And the us includes Ian.
And Conan.
And Darryl.
And still to come, we have this story, and I think we should probably get into it, because I don't think there's really much else to say about robot rights, although you did find the robot religion, or somebody claiming to have a robot religion, Darryl.
No, it's in Futurama. So the TV show, there's Robotology. There's actually 3 robot religions that they mention, or 2 robot religions and then a third that is mentioned. So there's Robotology that I will get into. There's Robot Judaism, and then the First Amalgamated Church, which is kind of like a Universalist, Unitarian sort of thing.
So wait, Robotology is from the show, but the other 2 aren't?
All 3 are from the show.
All 3 are from the show, okay.
But Robotology is the one that they sort of explore a little bit more. The sermons are delivered from the Reverend Preacher Bot. Robotology has a holy text, the Good Book 3.0, which is stored on a 3.5-inch floppy disk. 2 symbols of the religion are shown in the episode. The first is a zigzag line with a circle at either end, based on the electronic symbol used for a resistor on a circuit diagram. Robots who accept Robotology are expected to abstain from behavior such as smoking, pornography, stealing, abusing electricity, and drinking alcohol. However, consuming alcohol is necessary for robots to function in Futurama, but we learn that mineral oil is an acceptable substitute. Sinners are published by Condemnation to Robot Hell, located under an abandoned amusement park in Atlantic City, New Jersey. Robot Hell is controlled by the Robot Devil, who is bound by the Fairness in Hell Act of 2275, which allows anyone who can defeat him in a fiddle contest with solid gold fiddles to win their freedom, as well as the golden fiddle itself.
There is the story from real life about this robot religion that would be for humans, meaning that humans would be worshiping.
Yeah, didn't we talk about this a while back? And I still think it's a joke. But the guy that creates it apparently
he seems
is
legit.
serious.
Yeah, he seems
You're
very
talking
serious.
about an AI god?
Basically, yeah.
For something to worship, people to worship?
Correct. Yeah, that's a thing. Yeah, the guy is named Anthony Lewandowski, if you want to look him up and learn more about that. But we're not going to get into that because let's talk about a religion that does exist today, and that is to say this creepy cult where people are branding themselves. And I had seen this headline back, let's see, this was from March. Okay, so this was before this woman was arrested. There's a woman, Allison Mack. She's an actress from the show Smallville, which is, I guess, isn't that a DC Comics Superman show?
Yeah, it's Superman.
I believe it's
like when he was a kid.
Superman babies.
Kind of thing? When he was a kid growing up?
Teenager.
Kind of thing. Anyway, so she was in that show, and so people know who she is, I guess, from that. And the headline here, how Smallville actress Allison Mack became a woman branding cult leader. So, man, remember, this was in the news long before she was arrested, which the arrest just happened, I think, at the end of last week. So let's talk about the history here, and then we can get into what's going on now. The difficult to pronounce word on everybody's lips, this is Amy Zimmerman writing at thedailybeast.com, is Nexivm. Apparently, they pronounce it Nexivm. The self-help company.
Wait, how can it be Nexivm? There's a V in there.
Well,
Hold on.
You just need to be re-educated.
Hold on.
Nexivm.
So in
should be Nexivm.
Hold on. Will you let me
go ahead,
explain?
Daryl? What's your robot religion?
So in the Roman Empire, they generally would use a V instead of the letter U.
Oh, really? So they're Romans.
And the Romans were the original sex cults. With their orgy. Well, not original, but they had their orgies.
So Nexivm
Lots of them.
is currently in the press because its leader, Keith Rainier, was arrested in Mexico. So this is what got everybody talking. Subsequently, he's been charged with sex trafficking and conspiracy to commit forced labor. FBI official William Sweeney detailed Monday that, quote, as alleged, Keith Rainier displayed a disgusting abuse of power in his efforts to denigrate and manipulate women that he considered his sex slaves. Further, the FBI agent said, quote, he allegedly participated in horrifying acts of branding and burning them with the cooperation of other women who are operating within his unorthodox pyramid scheme. These serious crimes against humanity are not only shocking, but disconcerting, to say the least, and we are putting an end to this torture today, unquote. Unlike other less glamorous cults, Nexivm has always flirted with celebrity. A 2010 Vanity Fair piece alleged that Rainier went out of his way to court wealthy and influential followers. The article, The Heiress and the Cult, or rather The Heiresses and the Cult, told the story of the Seagram's heiresses, Seagram's being the alcohol brand company, Sarah and Claire Bronfman, who quickly rose through the Nexivm ranks, helping to organize high-profile events like the Dalai Lama's visit to Albany in 2009. Vanity Fair reported that the Bronfman sisters' relationship with Mr. Rainier led to a, quote, massive gutting, unquote, of their trust funds to help finance Nexivm and the alleged investment schemes of its leader. The article continued to say that, quote, according to legal filings and public documents, in the last 6 years, as much as $150 million was taken out of the Bronfman's trusts and bank accounts, including $66 million allegedly used to cover Rainier's failed bets in the commodities market. $30 million to buy real estate in Los Angeles and around Albany, $11 million for a 22-seat, two-engine Canadair CL600 jet, and millions more to support a barrage of lawsuits across the country against Nexivm's enemies. In 2017, so that's a lot of money. These girls.
I can see going after this guy for those reasons. But not the sex trafficking.
Well, we'll get into that.
So I'm confused about how all of this ties into some weird multi-level marketing scheme.
I don't know if it's multi-level marketing, but it wouldn't surprise me if it is.
The thing that you said here, a pyramid scheme.
They did call it a pyramid scheme, yeah.
That sounds like some and the article that I have from the Daily Beast, which apparently is different than the one that you have, mentions...
This is from a month ago.
Yeah, the one that I have also from March. But it mentions something about Rainier selling some kind of course to the people. So, like, oh, you've got to come in, and then you're buying courses. And something also said that he preferred, quote, exceptionally thin women, so the slaves had to stick to a very low-calorie diet and document every food they ate.
Oh, yeah. I'm sure this is going to get pretty crazy here.
Punishments for not following orders, women were forced to attend classes where they were forced to wear fake cow udders over their breasts while people called them derogatory names, or they were threatened with being put in a cage.
The New York Times in 2017 published a shocking report substantiated by the testimonies of former members of Nexivm. One woman, Sarah Edmondson, claimed to have been branded during a Nexivm ritual. The Times reported that, quote, each woman was told to undress and lie on a massage table, while 3 others restrained her legs and shoulders. According to one of them, their master is a top Nexivm official named Lauren Salzman, instructed them to say, quote, Master, please brand me. It would be an honor, unquote.
Thank you, sir. May I have another?
A female doctor proceeded to use a cauterizing device to sear a 2-inch square symbol below each woman's hip, a procedure that took 20 to 30 minutes, the article continued. For hours, muffled screams and the smell of burning tissue filled the room.
These guys don't know how to brand.
Yeah, it shouldn't take that long, right?
You make the symbol, you turn it into a little prod, you stick it in the fire, and...
A text message Rainier allegedly sent to a female follower that was obtained by the Times acknowledged both the branding and its unique design, reading, quote, not initially intended as my initials, but they rearranged it slightly for tribute. The KR initials also, when inverted, spell AM. The New York Times also reported that the state police investigator told Ms. Edmondson and 2 other women that officials would not pursue their criminal complaint against Nexivm because their actions had been consensual. Indeed. I mean, if you decide you want to get branded by some psycho, then...
Or give him your money.
Yeah.
Or get stapled down or tied down to a table, a massage table, and get branded.
Which is why I want to hear more about the allegations around the sex trafficking, because as we know, they're calling everything sex trafficking these days.
Right.
So even if you're just a prostitute, they're going to try to label you as a sex trafficker because they want people to think that there's sex trafficking going on everywhere, when in point of fact, it's very, very rare in the world of prostitution. The Times also reported. Let's see here. Dynasty star Catherine Oxenberg spoke with the Times. Her daughter India had reportedly been initiated into the top-secret sorority. Before fleeing the country, Mr. Rainier wrote a letter in response to the Times expose, describing the sorority's members as, quote, thriving, healthy, and happy, and better off, insisting that they have not been coerced. We'll tell you more about how this Smallville actress ended up getting involved in this creepy cult, and then the update is she got herself arrested recently as well. And we'll tell you about that. You can share your thoughts. Maybe you've been involved in a cult and you want to talk about it. You're welcome to join us here and tell your story. Hour 3's coming up on Free Talk Live.
I tried other brands, but I came back to My Sunshine.
For the best hot or cold pain relief, get the best. Get a Sunny Bay heating pad.
Sometimes life can be a pain in the neck or back or shoulder.
And the best relief for that pain is a Sunny Bay heating pad. Did you know that the American College of Physicians said that one of the best ways to treat muscle pain is heat therapy? Sunny Bay heating pads are handmade with high quality, can be used at home or at work, and have a lifetime 100% positive rating on both Amazon and Etsy.
Why take another pill?
Many people use our Sunny Bay heating pads alone and got rid of the neck pain.
Long distance travel or long hours in front of a computer can take its toll on your body.
See why our homegrown small business at sunny-bay.com has tried to help people just like you. Get your Sunny Bay heating pads at sunny-bay.com. That's sunny-bay.com, or call 253-678-1361 for hot and cold therapy. sunny-bay.com.
Radio is the most personal of mediums. I exist right now in your head. If you listen to Free Talk Live regularly, you know me. Free Talk Live is on more than 160 radio stations around the U.S. and has been downloaded on every continent around the world. Hundreds of thousands of listeners with ad packages from $600 a month to $6,000 a month. Imagine what we can do for your business, project, website, or idea. Email me mark at freetalklive.com. The three most important things you can do for Free Talk Live are: 1, share one episode a week on Facebook or in some other social networking site. 2, buy the things you buy online through shop.freetalklive.com. 3, give $5 a month to the AMP program. It's my firm belief that Free Talk Live's AMP program is the best use of your charitable dollar among liberty-oriented organizations. Support all the organizations you love, but make sure you give $5 a month to AMP at amp.freetalklive.com.
You're listening to the live edition of Free Talk Live. Hour number 3 is next after the news here on the Liberty Radio Network at LRN.FM.
From Keene in the Shire, the Liberty Media capital of the world, this is Darryl W. Perry, host of FPP Radio News for Wednesday, April 25th, 2018. Silver is trading at $16.54 per ounce. Gold is valued at $1,320 per ounce. Zencash is trading at $35, and the average price of Bitcoin is $9,111. Antiwar.com reports South Korea has turned off its propaganda loudspeakers as a gesture of goodwill ahead of Friday's summit with North Korea's Kim Jong-un. This is the first time in over 2 years that South Korea has shut off the loudspeakers aimed at North Korea. South Korea's giant wall of speakers broadcast news reports boasting of their prosperity, aiming it at both North Korean border troops and villages near the border. They occasionally play music or radio dramas, though the main point is to demoralize the other side. A spokesman told reporters the move was intended to ease military tensions ahead of Friday's summit and also to set a new tone. South Korean officials would not say if the loudspeakers would remain off after the summit. The expectation, though, was that the summit will include more discussions of a peace treaty, formally ending the Korean War, which is still officially ongoing since 1950. If a peace deal happens, there would clearly be no need to broadcast such messages across the border any longer. North Korea has its own loudspeakers on the other side of the border, mostly broadcasting criticism of South Korea. North Korea has not commented on what will happen with their loudspeakers. Indeed, given how much North Korea has toned down all other rhetoric, it is unclear at this point what those speakers have even been broadcasting. For over 40 years, Roberts & Roberts Brokerage has been a trusted source for buying and selling precious metals. Gold, silver, platinum, and palladium. They don't feed the banks. They're Bitcoin preferred and have removed the minimum purchase amount for all orders paid in the digital currency. Call Roberts & Roberts Brokerage today for knowledgeable advice on buying and selling precious metals and a forward-thinking approach to new technologies. 800-874-9760 or visit online at rrbi.co. UPI reports the U.S. Supreme Court ruled Tuesday that foreign corporations cannot be sued in U.S. courts for violation of international law. The 5-4 ruling is a loss for about 6,000 foreign victims of terrorist attacks in Israel and Gaza who accused Jordan-based Arab Bank of using its New York branch to distribute millions of dollars to terrorists and their families. While many victims had wanted to sue the bank in U.S. court, the Supreme Court on Tuesday disagreed with the legality of the prospect. Justice Anthony Kennedy wrote in the court's lead opinion, "Courts are not well suited to make the required policy judgments that are implicated by corporate liability in cases like this one." Justice Sonia Sotomayor, writing for the dissenting group, argued that the ruling let companies benefit from their corporate status without having to shoulder fundamental responsibilities. Zencash is the world's first private, distributed, and reliable platform for communications, transactions, and publishing. Zencash has the ability to use both transparent and shielded transactions, with shielded transactions using zero-knowledge proofs. Zencash features global governance with inclusive decision-making, reliable funding for continuous improvements, and documentation and wallets in many languages that are available for Linux, Mac, Windows, and Android devices. Learn more at zensystem.io. That's zensystem.io. Reuters reports monkeys lack standing to sue for copyright protection, and an animal rights group cannot act as legal guardians in such a matter, according to a U.S. appeals court ruling on Monday in a battle over ownership of a smiling selfie taken by an endangered macaw. The dispute stemmed from a famous image that Naruto, a rare crested macaw who lives in a nature reserve, snapped using a camera that British photographer David Slater left mounted and unattended during a 2011 trip. His grinning visage, which Slater published in a wildlife book, went viral and and triggered the long-running legal battle over who had the copyright. The judges of the U.S. Ninth Circuit Court of Appeals based in San Francisco said the panel held that the monkey lacks statutory standing because the Copyright Act does not expressly authorize animals to file copyright infringement suits. The court's opinion added that PETA was not a next friend of the monkey in a legal sense and failed to establish that it had a significant relationship with him. Jeff Kerr, general counsel for PETA, said in a statement, denying Naruto the right to sue under U.S. Copyright Act emphasizes that he is discriminated against simply because he's a non-human animal. PETA had argued that the monkey was the legal owner of all the photos he took, but a federal judge in San Francisco ruled in January 2016 that copyright laws do not apply to animals. Slater announced that he would donate 25% of future revenues from the photograph to charitable groups that protect Naruto and other members of his species in Indonesia. The case was brought in a U.S. court because Slater's book was available for sale in the United States. This has been FPP Radio News, online at fppradio.com.
While waiting to interview for a web consultant position with local marketing firm Bizco, applicant Ryan Ehrlich told Onion reporters he wasn't entirely sure he was dynamic enough for his prospective employer.
When I first saw that the agency was looking for a leader willing to contribute as a valued member of the team, I thought it was the perfect fit. But the more I think about it, the less I'm sure I'm actually an energetic self-starter. I mean, I think I'm a versatile independent thinker, but honestly, how do you even know for sure?
Ehrlich, who found Bizco's online job posting earlier this week, went on to express doubts that he truly possesses the forward-thinking instincts and next-generation idea assets required to work with the fast-paced marketing firm's team of self-starters.
Can I reimagine a brand for a digital landscape? Sure, but do I really have the energy, skills, enthusiasm, and passion to be a part of this dynamic, growth-oriented company? I just don't know. Oh God, who am I kidding? There's no way I'm on the cutting edge.
This is the Onion News Network.
Free Talk Live.
Free Talk Live. Hour number 3. We're kicking it off now. We're talking about the Nexivm cult, spelled N-X-I-V-M. With you in the studio tonight is Ian.
And Conan.
And Darryl.
So this got into the news several weeks ago. I mean, I guess it's been in and out of the news, but I've not seen it until the last month. It's been in and out of the news over the last decade or so, at least, according to this story here at thedailybeast.com. And it made the news last month when the supposed leader of the cult, Keith Rainier, was arrested by the FBI and accused of, let's see here, what was it? Basically sex trafficking. Yeah. Oh, and they arrested him in Mexico.
And probably making a lot of money that he wasn't reporting.
So apparently he thought he could get out of the United States and get out of their jurisdiction and avoid arrest, but they snatched him up in Mexico. He's been charged with sex trafficking and conspiracy to commit forced labor. So they go through a few different stories here that have been written about the Nexivm cult over the years. It's Ian, Conan, and Darryl in here. Our number, by the way, for you is 855-450-FREE if you want to join us, 855-450-3733, especially if you're somebody with a history in cults, maybe the weirder ones, and you want to comment on, especially if you've been involved in Nexivm. Certainly would love to hear from you, but I don't know how many members they have.
It sounds like a lot of sexy women are involved in. They don't listen to the show.
The Seagram's girls apparently were some of the earlier supposed victims of this cult, having laid out over $100+ million worth of their family's trust money and such to bail this, supposed leader of this cult out of various different situations.
And according to an article that I have, again, I've got one from the Daily Beast that seems to be different than the one that you have, says that in 2003, a Forbes profile of Rainier reported that some 3,700 people had flocked to his executive success programs, which appeared to be those courses that were being sold through Nexivm.
How many million?
3,700, which is not millions.
Sorry, I thought you said million in there somewhere.
No.
Apologize.
You're the one that mentioned millions of dollars.
Okay.
This was numbers of people.
Yeah, that's not a whole lot then.
Times
3,700 is still a fair number of people.
How many years?
Times whatever these courses cost each.
Yeah, they're probably not cheap.
I think you're going to get into the millions.
Right, but it takes a long time to find 3 people that can find 3 people.
Yeah, but if
that are then willing to get branded.
Yeah, but if sex is involved, and you have women with,
But branding.
And how many of the members of this cult were female? Because a lot of the other leaders that they're citing here are female. So it was like, from what I've heard, they tried to recruit female members with the idea of female empowerment, and then ultimately end up branding them. So who knows what the sort of process they're taking them through here, but I'm sure that we can learn more. Catherine Oxenberg, according to the Daily Beast, isn't the only minor celebrity to make an appearance in Rainier's tangled web. Smallville fans were shocked to learn that Allison Mack, the Teen Choice Award-winning actress who played Chloe Sullivan on the CW series, is allegedly a key recruiter at Nexivm. Frank Parlato is a business person who was accused by the Bronfman sisters. Those are the sisters behind the Seagram's family fortune.
She's a talent scout, Ian.
That's what it sounds like. Of defrauding them in 2011, he's gone on to publish information about Nexivm on his blog, The Frank Report, often citing anonymous ex-followers. According to Parlato, Mack helped form the secret sorority, otherwise known as DOS, which stood for Domino's Obsequious Sororium, which means Master over the Slave Women. Envisioning a, quote, united group of women branded in the name of Keith Rainier and Ms. Allison Mack, which will be a force for good and a female force against evil, unquote. According to the 2017 Daily Mail article, quote, DOS operates as a master-slave hierarchy, with Rainier at the top and Mack as his immediate subordinate. Women in the group are allegedly kept on a 500 to 800 calorie a day diet because Rainier likes thin women and believes fat interferes with his energy levels.
Ian, did you say before that the branding was AM?
Well, there was
KR, and if you flip that upside down, depending on however it's designed, it said what? They flipped hers upside down so it looked like AM?
Yeah.
Interesting. So you've got Keith Rainier and Allison
Mack.
Okay.
Let's see here. So again, he said that the women could only eat 500 to 800 calories a day. Now, I don't know what the recommended caloric intake per day for the average, inactive person is.
It's probably about 500.
No. I know that when I was in jail, they were feeding us 2,200 calories per day.
Recommended daily allowance is 2,000 calories.
Yeah, for someone who is active.
No.
In jail.
For a human being.
Yeah.
Your recommended daily allowance is 2,000 calories.
Right. And it says a country of fat people.
Whatever, dude. It's worth pointing out. These people were...
Okay, 500 is not enough, but I think 2,000
500 calories
is
like a yogurt.
barely a meal.
That's like a yogurt.
No,
dude.
It's not.
I bet you it is, man.
A yogurt is going to be
a
about...
Whopper is like 500.
Okay, maybe.
No, a Whopper is about 700. You add in a fry, that's about another 500.
Yeah.
I just
Most
said
Americans...
This is a whole day, dude. So imagine a Whopper for the entire day.
Hold on. We're talking to somebody that lives on a pack of ramen noodles because he's a cheap ass.
4 Whoppers a day. That's a lot of damn food.
The women in this cult
could only eat 1 Whopper a day. I know.
1 Whopper. Okay, 500 calories. Now you got me curious to know what a. Of course, yogurt's not what it used to be because yogurt used to be 8 ounces. Now they're 5.3. So you don't even get as much in a unit.
So
of yogurt.
According to my fitness watch, I have burned 2,450 calories today, and I know I've not consumed anywhere near that.
But you went for a run.
Right.
Anyway, going on here. So Parlato claims slaves must immediately answer their master anytime they text or call them, and if they do not recruit enough slaves of their own, they are beaten with a paddle on their buttocks. Unquote.
Sometimes they might enjoy that.
Well, that's the thing. If this is consensual
and or getting branded,
then it's not slavery in the traditional sense. The Frank Report alleged that Mack herself introduced the corporal punishment aspect into the sorority, and which makes you wonder what she went through when she was a kid. In that 2017 blog post, Parlato claimed that Mack also had taken over Jness, Jness, a Nexivm women's group, writing that, quote, both women's groups, Jness and DOS, are based on the teachings of Mr. Rainier. Both require members to keep the teachings secret. Jness is open to females who want to take entry-level self-improvement courses on female empowerment. A beginner is not told about the higher-level teachings until she proves qualified. Since Ms. Mack has assumed control of both organizations, Jness is evolving into a training ground and recruitment camp for women who may qualify for the teachings of DOS. The cream of Jness women are invited to join DOS, and the cream of DOS women are invited to join Mr. Rainier's harem.
Okay, I'm at healthline.com.
What's that?
A female, age 25, 110 pounds, 5'7", slightly active, 1,700 calories per day.
Yeah, so you're talking about a third. They're getting a third of the recommended.
Unless they want to lose weight, and then they would only need 1,400 calories per day.
According to the BBC, the FBI's criminal complaint similarly claims that, quote, once recruited as slaves, women were allegedly expected to perform menial chores for their masters and have sex with Mr. Rainier, who was known as, quote, the Vanguard. So that's what I guess you have to call him if you were in the cult.
Okay.
Quote, Rainier has maintained a rotating group of 15 to 20 women with whom he maintains sexual relationships, the FBI stated in its complaint. These women are not permitted to have sexual relationships with anyone but Rainier or to discuss with others their relationship with Rainier. Some of the Nexivm curriculum included teachings about the need for men to have multiple sexual partners and the need for women to be monogamous, which is a load of crap. If you ask me. But Mack, who has acted sparingly since Smallville, praises Rainier on her blog. In the bio section of her blog, AllisonMack.com/biography, she writes, quote, over the course of several years, Mr. Rainier mentored Allison in her study of acting and music. As such, she has developed a deep connection to the nature of humanity as it relates to acting as an art form and a tool for personal evolution. The blog also said that, quote, in 2013, Mr. Rainier worked with Allison and a small group of equally skilled and dedicated professionals to develop a curriculum that's currently taught through a private arts academy, The Source. There, Allison serves as president and is one of its top trainers, unquote. Parlato told The Sun that Mack is one of the women who can be seen panicking over Rainier in a leaked video clip of his arrest. According to prosecutors, the women that were reportedly living with him in Mexico, quote, chased the car in which the defendant was being transported in their own car at high speed. Nexivm's official website currently reads, quote, in response to the allegations against our founder Keith Rainier, we're currently working with the authorities to demonstrate his innocence and true character. So that leads us to what happened to Ms. Mack last week, coming next.
And not to mention the shedding, I would vacuum the carpet 3 times a week. Frodo was scratching all night long, bouncing on the side of the bed, keeping me awake the whole entire night from all the scratching and chewing. It kind of makes you neurotic.
Does your dog itch, scratch, stink, or shed like crazy?
Mounds and mounds of fur all over the place.
Come to Dinovite for help.
DINOVITE.com.
If you want the dog to be healthy, you got to feed it something healthy.
Dinovite is nutrition.
The omega-3 fatty acids.
Flaxseed, zinc, alfalfa.
Our vitamins and enzymes replace the nutrients cooked out of most commercial dog foods.
He gobbles it up. He's not up all night scratching. His shedding is minimal, and it is such a pleasure to have my calm, relaxed, non-shedding puppy back. And I have to thank Dinovite for that.
Don't let your dog itch, scratch, stink, or shed like crazy.
Come to Dinovite for help.
859-428-1000.
859-428-1000. DINOVITE.com.
What's more profitable, running your business or doing bookkeeping? Doing your business, of course, but you want to keep your books so that you can maximize your tax savings, right? What if I told you that there's a person that's a bookkeeper, accountant, and law school graduate that's also a hardcore libertarian?
My name is Melanie Johnson, and I hate the state. I will aggressively help you to minimize your tax exposure and maximize profits, all while staying within the law.
Melanie's your best choice for your taxes and bookkeeping needs. Go to tax.freetalklive.com and check out our website, tax.freetalklive.com. I've said it many times on air, and I'll say it here. The New Hampshire Liberty Alliance is one of the most important organizations for freedom in the world. New Hampshire is ground zero for freedom, and the NHLA is the best organization at promoting effective liberty activism. This ad is sponsored by Free Talk Live, and I, Mark Edge, am a lifetime member because I believe in the NHLA. Please check them out at nhliberty.org. Not everyone can move right now, but you can support the cause. Donate top cryptocurrencies or old-fashioned U.S. dollars, nhliberty.org. Visit their website and see what they're all about, nhliberty.org.
Since time began, tyrants have taken aim at personal liberties. Now there's a movie that aims back.
The government has no more right to tell us what to put in our bodies than they have to take our guns or tell us what books we can read.
6 drug police were eaten by bears while raiding a marijuana farm.
On your knees, you dirty hippies! Jesus. On your knees! What's the problem, officer?
Today, many cops who enforce pot laws do so only because it provides them with cushy jobs, good benefits, and a chance to push people around.
I was an undercover narcotics officer. The drug war is nothing but a farce.
The Second Amendment says you gotta keep you and your gat intact.
Guns and Weed, The Road to Freedom. A film by Michael W. Dean and Nima Vadadi.
DVD available now at gunsandweed.com or on Amazon. That's gunsandweed.com. Makes the perfect gift. Remember, that's gunsandweed.com.
Did you know you can watch Free Talk Live during our live shows 7 days a week from 7 to 10 p.m. Eastern via our studio cams at cam.freetalklive.com? Plus, you can chat with other listeners while you watch, all totally free. Now that our live video stream is hosted by YouTube, our video archives will be online even faster. So be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Listen, watch, and chat all free at cam.freetalklive.com. That's cam.freetalklive.com.
This Your Family Today tip is brought to you by Stouffer's, helping bring your family together with wholesome dinner options, even on the busiest of nights. Find dinner table ideas to bring your family together at letsfixdinner.com. To get kids involved in dinnertime conversation, ask specific questions, not broad ones. Instead of what happened today at school, try what was the best thing that happened today. The more specific you are, the more they'll have to say. For more tips like these, visit us at parenthood.com/yourfamilytoday.
Love what we do? Please help support our international satellite channels at patreon.lrn.fm. That's patreon.lrn.fm.
This is Free Talk Live. You can bring up whatever is on your mind. Our number here, 855-450-FREE like freedom, 855-450-3733. Or you can call us on Skype once it finishes updating. I guess it decided it wanted to do an update here. You can also call us on Discord.
It can't be any worse than my PC updating.
Is it
for
still going?
An hour and 15 minutes.
Oh, you finally got through it?
It's finally up and running.
Wow. Discord is available to you. Go to discord.lrn.fm. Both Conan and I are in there tonight, along with a bunch of other people chatting about various different things. There's been some posts about this Allison Mack, who is an actress, or was. Maybe she doesn't do that much acting anymore because she's too busy branding women as initiates into the Nexivm cult, allegedly. Of course, the Nexivm organization putting out a response on their website about their founder, Keith Rainier, who has been arrested under allegations of running this sex slave cult, or alleged sex slave cult, claiming that this is a sex trafficking operation and there was, some kind of abuse that was going on, according to the story at the Daily, I forget, whatever it was, dailybeast.com. He was arrested in Mexico, charged with sex trafficking and conspiracy to commit forced labor. Nexivm's official response on their website is, quote, "In response to the allegations against our founder, Keith Rainier, we're currently working with the authorities to demonstrate his innocence and true character. We strongly believe the justice system will prevail in bringing the truth to light. We're saddened by the reports perpetuated by the media and their apparent disregard for innocent until proven guilty, yet we will continue to honor the same principles on which our company was founded. It's during the times of greatest adversity that integrity, humanity, and compassion are hardest and needed most."
He should have been arrested for that ugly old brand. It's ugly.
You're talking about the KR/AM brand?
And depending on how you turn it, you get different variations of whatever you want it to look like. There's lots of other little squiggles and lines. You can probably turn it in all kinds of things.
A few different things, yeah.
But get yourself a good brand, guys. that thing is ugly.
Well, he's
but I guess you're not. I guess you're out of business, so no more.
Well, he's not out of business. He's just been arrested.
Unless you're in jail getting some more
guy. Remember, this is a guy who got $150 million out of the Seagram's heiresses, and that's just one example. He's got however many other so-called slaves. That again, these are people who are apparently consenting to this. They're not really slaves, and I think that's probably where the state's case is going to fall apart. Because they're going to be able to probably prove that this was all by consent.
And that's why they're going after sex trafficking. And also, I think you're going to find tax evasion that's going to show
probably.
Unless the prosecution is able to wind up convincing all of these women that they didn't actually consent to anything.
Yeah. Oh,
and then they testify against him, and then he winds up going to jail for 500 and some odd billion years.
Yeah, because the whole Me Too movement, right? These women were taken advantage of. It was someone was putting pills in their drinks.
No, once something is classified as sex trafficking, they're going to convince the person you're the victim. You did not consent to this. You are a victim. Let me explain to you all the ways that you're a victim.
If they can. I think you're right, Darryl.
And now we need you to testify against this guy that victimized you.
But what if they have other people going in there saying, well, because not all of them are going to probably flip to the prosecutor. So if they all did flip, but what if there's like two sides? What if one side's saying, I'm a victim, I've been told now that I was used against my will, while others are like, yeah, I wanted to get branded because it made me feel special. I wanted to be branded because I believe in Nexivm and whatever the heck its tenets are.
They're not going to have those people that are adamant that they weren't victims. They're not going to have them testify.
Well, the defense sure as hell will.
The defense will probably
This guy can afford some attorneys.
Right. But the state isn't going to use them.
No, but they're going to go on the stand.
And then the jury is going to, well, there were all these women that testified saying they were victims. We're going to believe them.
How many jurors do you have to convince in a civil case?
It depends on what state.
This is criminal. They're charging him criminally.
But, still, it's going to be one of those things to where, oh, well, yeah, sure, 3 of these women or 5 or however many wound up saying they weren't victims, but they were just brainwashed into thinking they weren't victims.
Yeah, but a lot of times in sex trafficking, the actual victims are people who've been threatened, right? Like, we know where your mother lives, and if you try to escape from us, we're going to kill her.
Or we're taking. How are you going to take care of your kids? How are you going to put them through school? How are you going to do this and that? How are you going to pay the rent? Unless you do all this for us because we're paying your bills.
Right.
Well, that's one way of pressuring somebody, but it's not uncommon for like criminal gangsters to actually threaten violence.
I think all they got to do is
family members.
I think challenging your ability to pay your rent is probably more universal than
nobody else is going to take. I'm taking care of you. Nobody else will take care of you.
Yeah, exactly.
Over the past several weeks, this from Mashable.com, arrests of members from the purported self-help group Nexivm have revealed an underground web of heinous crimes from sex slavery to pyramid schemes, according to Jess Joho at Mashable. Reports and rumors about the group's connections to Hollywood actors are mounting, and on Friday, actress Allison Mack, best known for her roles on Smallville and Wilfred, was also arrested on sex trafficking and forced labor charges. They talk about Keith Rainier, who, again, group members called Vanguard, as we mentioned before, being at the top of this particular pyramid. Court filings describe how Rainier used Nexivm as an umbrella company to mask a secret society called DOS, which blackmailed and branded unsuspecting victims before forcing them.
Unsuspecting.
Yeah, I mean, sorry, you're going to see the brand coming. It's they were submitting themselves
to that. You're getting strapped down.
Right, but the blackmail, I think, is what they're saying. They blackmail the people into joining the thing.
Yeah, if they can prove blackmail, then they're going to have a real strong
case.
case.
There's an article from the Daily Beast where they're saying that Allison Mack was attempting to recruit women on Twitter, and nobody noticed it.
Oh, and Emma Watson, for example.
Right. So they have tweets here where she tweeted, at Emma Watson, I'm a fellow actress like yourself and involved in an amazing women's movement that I think you would dig.
Right, because she's a lefty, right,
Emma Watson? I'd love to chat if you're open. And then she tweets, at Kelly Clarkson, I heard through the grapevine.
Kelly Clarkson is not a
She's
lefty.
going up to the top, huh?
This was back in 2013.
Trumper, right?
She said, I heard through the grapevine that you're a fan of Smallville. I'm a fan of yours. I'd love to chat. Wow. I don't see how either of those can necessarily be construed as, come join a sex cult.
It's the opening move, right? Like, she's just trying to reach out to them, and Twitter's a way that you can do that.
But the headline is,
right.
She's trying to recruit them to a sex cult in front of everybody's eyes.
There's a lot of sensationalism here that you've got to sort of get through.
Yeah, when you're talking about Scientology and you're trying to get them into your group, you don't start talking about the aliens first.
No, that's later.
That's way later.
You don't learn about that till what, like level
33
or something?
Yeah. DOS, this other supposed inner cult, operated with levels of women slaves headed by masters, according to the court filing. I should say cult filing because that's a cult in its own right, who in turn owed service not only to their masters, but the masters above them in the DOS pyramid. Ms. Mack is said to have been at the highest level of the pyramid just before Rainier, and he supposedly rewarded her with money and, quote, other benefits, unquote, for every victim that she convinced. And again, convincing is different from coercing. So if they can prove that they actually blackmailed these women into joining and being branded and becoming sex slaves, then they've got a case. If all the evidence is shown that these women voluntarily joined, and we haven't seen the defense's side. The only thing that the media has seen are the accusations from the federal government in this case. In a lot of cases, the feds or any government agencies don't really have a strong case. They're hoping for a plea deal. They're hoping to not have to go to trial, but they must know that this guy has the money to go to trial, so presumably they're prepared for that. We'll continue here. If you want to comment, you're welcome to join us at 855-450-FREE like freedom. This is Free Talk Live.
Hunters, anglers, campers, and survivalists. Get back to nature. Expand your horizons with the highest quality, most versatile, unique slingshots and sling bows on the market at slingbow.com. Sling bow products are compact and models start from just $17.98. They're perfect for your bug out bag or storing in your vehicle. Give yourself and your loved ones the excitement and tradition of sling bow. A new frontier in archery and truly modern twist on this primitive survival tool. Feel the thrill only at slingbow.com.
Healthcare reform is confusing. With the loss of the Obamacare mandate, those needing help can now choose an affordable alternative. By joining Liberty HealthShare, you're part of a community of health-conscious Americans all over the country who control their own healthcare costs and choices. Liberty HealthShare is not insurance. It is an association of self-pay patients who unite with like-minded people to share the cost of their medical needs. Neighbor helping neighbor. Learn more now by going to libertyoncall.org. That's libertyoncall.org.
A congressman recently revealed that legislation totaling 2,900 pages and involving more than $1 trillion was available to members of Congress for less than 48 hours to study and consider. That's over 60 pages of legislation per hour. Do you think anyone read the entire bill? I'm Jim Babka with DownsizeDC.org. Consider a proposal buried in a 3,200-page, $388 billion bill, which would have empowered committee chairmen or their agents to examine Americans' tax returns. When this horrible provision came to light, no one claimed to know how it got into the bill. One congressman questioned said, "I didn't write it, I didn't approve it, I wasn't even consulted." If your attorney represented you this way, he might be disbarred. But this is how Congress represents you every day. That's why DownsizeDC.org has created the Read the Bills Act. You can force Congress to read their bills before they pass them at DownsizeDC.org.
What do you shop for that you could otherwise buy at Amazon? Pretty much everything, right? Amazon has competitive pricing and they deliver, and that's a big plus. If you could plan ahead in your shopping, would you be interested in saving up to 33%? There's a catch. You have to do your shopping in Bitcoin. But imagine those savings. It's like a huge raise. All you have to do is go to saveitpurse.com. We've saved thousands, and you can too. Plan ahead and save. Saveitpurse.com. Did you know we've taken our LRN.FM telephone listen line to a new level with the LRN.FM audio on demand line? Now you can call 712-770-8447 anytime and listen to LRN.FM's live feed. And you can listen to a bunch of our original shows on demand. Long distance fees may apply. Just dial 712-770-8447 and choose from the menu. 712-770-8447. Why did you move to the Shire?
I moved here to the Shire because there's other people around who take liberty just as seriously as I do.
I moved to the Shire because I saw videos of people challenging authority and thought that I could get support myself. It called to me, like, do this right now.
I wanted to be around people like me who got it. And once I got here, I knew there was nowhere else that I wanted to be.
I've always wanted to change the world. So I moved to the Shire to join people who were actually working towards doing the same thing.
The people here are awesome, loving, and positive. It was for the adventure and for the feeling of something important is happening here. And I just wanted to come to sort of be part of that.
Visit ShireSociety.com to read and sign the Shire Society Declaration and learn the reasons why, if you love liberty, you should immigrate to the Shire. Plus, add yourself to the Shire map at ShireSociety.com. That's ShireSociety.com.
This is the Liberty Radio Network, broadcasting the latest liberty-oriented audio content 24 hours a day at LRN.FM.
This is Free Talk Live. You can join us here. The toll-free number, 855-450-FREE like freedom. 855-450-3733. Also, Skype username is lrn.fm. We're back up on Skype, by the way. If you want to jump in there, you're welcome to. And in addition, our Discord on-air call-in line room is available over at discord.lrn.fm. It allows you to get on the air with us. You can talk about anything you want. Maybe you've been involved in a cult or a weird religion. You want to talk about your experience, how you got out, or maybe you're
still in there.
And you want to recruit us. You can call in 855-450, free like freedom. You've got this story about Allison Mack, who is an actress, apparently, on the show Smallville, or was. I don't know if it's still on the air. Probably not.
Hasn't been in several years.
Yeah, so she is now, at some point, she got involved in this Nexivm alleged cult, and the leader of that cult, Keith Rainier, has been arrested, and now so has Allison Mack, and both of them have been charged with sex trafficking and something about forced labor charges as well. By the way, I want you to know about liberty.menu, where you are completely consensually going to be going and adding yourself to the menu there of services. Liberty-oriented, libertarian-run, voluntarist-run, anarchist-run, people who love freedom, people who reject the initiation of force and agree to abide by the ethics of the non-aggression principle. That's what liberty.menu is for. It's for people like you who want to connect with other libertarian types and have them come be your customers at your business. Or if you are a potential customer, you want to find out where local business owners are who also agree with freedom, you go to liberty.menu, and that's the place you can do that. Now, it's still a relatively new site. They need to have more people add their business to the menu, because if you go to, where you live and there's nobody there, or it doesn't appear to be anything there, it's probably just because people haven't heard about liberty.menu yet because it's so brand new. So go to liberty.menu. It's free to add whatever your entrepreneurial activities are to the menu. So whether it's a brick and mortar business or something you do online, or maybe you're a content creator. There's digital content categories as well as event. So you're an events coordinator, You're putting something together, you can list that there over at liberty.menu, and it's free to do these listings. So again, there's no reason not to be listed there unless you don't want to be found by other libertarians. So go to liberty.menu, and you can do that today. So we're sharing with you the latest from the Allison Mack arrest story. She's an actress. She's pretty, just like many actresses are. And, of course, she is being used, allegedly, by this manipulative cult leader. At least that's what the media would have you believe. Now, obviously, we haven't heard their side of the story yet. The feds have made their allegations in this case and have made their arrests. But I suspect their side of the story is going to be, hey, this is a religion. It's legitimate. We're making the world a better place. So what if we have branding?
Were any of Manson's followers actors and actresses?
I don't know.
I thought they killed actors and
actors, but I mean, were any of them actual students of the...
Or wannabe actresses?
Yeah, wannabe actors.
Good question.
I don't know.
They were female, right? Most of his followers
they were both. I think they were half and half.
So, according to the story here at Mashable.com, and again, you got to kind of realize the media is going to paint these people with as nasty a brush as possible, and it does sound pretty outrageous what some of the allegations are. In 2017, a YouTube video from the official Keith Rainier Conversations channel, he and Allison Mack discussed the, quote, authentic human, unquote. It reads now like a chilling preview of the tactics they potentially used to carry out the alleged operation. Quote, Mack and other DOS masters recruited DOS slaves by telling them that they were joining a women-only organization that would empower them and eradicate purported weaknesses that the Nexivm curriculum taught were common in women. The indictment says the women were pressured into providing collateral before they could join the elite secret society, providing naked pictures, sensitive information about themselves and loved ones, and even rights to their assets. This blackmail was then used to both keep them in the DOS society and maintain its secrecy. So, if you give a blackmailer all of the things that they need to hold over your head, is that really blackmail?
That's what I was starting to think when it said they turned over information.
Right. They wanted to join this group so badly that they gave them naked pictures. They gave them, deeds to property or whatever other assets.
Right. So the question is, and I don't expect you to have the answer because, of course, the state isn't going to wind up saying this at this point. Were there threats before the... if you don't give me naked photos, then X will happen. If you don't do this, X will happen.
Never mind threats. If a con artist tricks you out of giving your money to them, are they legit within the law? Because they got you to do it. I mean,
it depends on what the con is, right? Like if the con is we're going to paint your driveway.
Yeah, exactly. So if
I will paint your driveway, you give me $500.
Right, but what if they trick you into an investment? I have this great investment. Give me $500 and I'll invest it and I'll get back to you.
If you actually did not invest it, then in that case that would be fraud. But if you actually paint the driveway, even if it's with a crappy paint that's going to wash off at the next rain shower, you did technically paint the driveway.
So hold on. Here's a question, and I realize some people will say this is Darryl being pedantic, but it really matters here.
Words matter.
How much of the driveway must I paint before I have legally painted the driveway?
The whole damn thing.
I tell you what, if you painted my driveway with chalk, I would burn your truck down.
Oh, you mean chalk paint?
Yeah, chalk.
There is a chalk
not
paint.
actual paint, not actual asphalt paint.
There's a sprayable chalk though. That's like a spray paint kind of thing.
But no, so like if I just paint like a line down the middle of the driveway, I have
paint on the driveway in that case.
Painted the driveway.
This is where contracts come in handy, Darryl. And if you let a traveler paint your driveway without an agreement in place, and you don't know where they came from, and you don't, they have
This is why we have all these crappy ass laws that we have to deal with because people can't read contracts. They can't get into contracts, and they suffer the consequences.
And then there's questions of, well, you only painted with one coat, and generally people paint with two.
All right, that's enough.
All
right. The women were, according to the story here again, required to provide the collateral before they could join the elite secret society. Now, they obviously don't know what's going to happen in the secret society. What they know is there's Allison Mack, this pretty actress, who's saying, "Hey, I like your work, Kelly Clarkson." As you mentioned, Darryl, she was apparently pitching it on, pitching something on Twitter. She's trying to connect with women in entertainment on Twitter.
You like girl empowerment.
Yeah.
So do I.
So you're going to learn all of the secrets of empowerment that I've learned, and it's been great for me so far. But look, before we can let you in, we have to make sure that you're not going to let these secrets out because it's a secret society, a secret sorority. And so therefore, we're just going to need to have a sex video of you. We're going to need to make sure that you give us some money. We're going to need to make sure you give us whatever other information they can hold over their heads here, including sensitive information about themselves and their loved ones, rights to their assets. You just hand over all these things, and then we'll let you in the society. And if you're disappointed, if you hand over all this stuff and then you find out that this secret society wasn't really what you thought it was, it didn't have the information that you were seeking. Then again, they didn't tell you that they were going to give what specific information they were going to give you, just that they were going to let you in and then you were going to find out what the secret society believed. And if it turns out that you're uncomfortable with that, well, sorry, you wanted in so bad that you handed over sexy pictures of yourself. So you either leave and we release these photos, or you stay in the cult. And in the case of cults, it's usually made difficult to leave, right? This isn't unusual when it comes to cults. You look at and I don't know if you can call them a cult because they're big enough, probably. Jehovah's Witness. If you look at them, the traditional method is if somebody leaves the Jehovah's Witnesses, they're supposed to be cut off. Meaning that the Jehovah's Witnesses of that group or whatever will not talk to that person. Their family members even will not talk to that person. You are completely ostracized from your previous social group.
And you lose all your heaven points, right?
I don't know, probably. But for most people, losing all of their human connections.
Excommunication is a serious tool, to deal with issues like this.
Right. So we'll continue here. There's a little bit more about this, and I'm sure as this court case moves forward, we're going to learn more of the allegations, and on both sides, because I am interested in hearing the defense. I would like to hear what Allison Mack has to say. Because she supposedly was basically second in command of this whole operation. There's more coming up, and this is Free Talk Live.
Does your dog itch, scratch, stink, or shed like crazy? Come to Dynovite for help.
Order a 90-day supply of Dynovite.
Dynovite for life.
Pick up 2 tubes of Doggo Suds.
Get the 3rd tube free.
Peppermint, tea tree, lavender, Doggo Sud shampoo.
Made with all-natural coconut, jojoba, aloe. Great for healthy skin and soft, shiny coats.
But no itchy, harsh chemicals.
Lather up, Rinse away.
Try Doggo Suds. Buy 2, get 1 free.
At Dinovite.com.
DINOVITE.com.
Zencash is an end-to-end encrypted system with zero-knowledge technology over which communications, data, or value can be securely transmitted and stored. With over 7,500 secure nodes, Zencash has one of the most distributed node systems of any cryptocurrency. Zencash is a platform for cryptocurrency and communications built by voluntarists for voluntarists, with the ideas of voluntary interaction being written into the white paper no less than half a dozen times. Learn more at Zencash.com. That's Zencash.com.
I tried other brands, but I came back to my Sunshine.
For the best hot or cold pain relief, get the best. Get a Sunny Bay heating pad.
Sometimes life can be a pain in the neck or back or shoulder.
And the best relief for that pain is a Sunny Bay heating pad. Did you know that the American College of Physicians said that one of the best ways to treat muscle pain is heat therapy? Sunny Bay heating pads are handmade with high quality, can be used at home or at work, and have a lifetime 100% positive rating on both Amazon and Etsy.
Why take another pill?
Many people use our Sunny Bay heating pads alone and got rid of the neck pain.
Long distance travel or long hours in front of a computer can take its toll on your body.
See why our homegrown small business at sunny-bay.com has tried to help people just like you. Get your Sunny Bay heating pads at sunny-bay.com. That's sunny-bay.com or call 253-678-1361 for hot and cold therapy. sunny-bay.com.
So the protection of life, liberty, and property is what the Free State Project is all about. But it's an effort to move 20,000 people who understand.
It's about demonstrating to the entire country
that, yeah, we can have a free market, a truly free market.
Making it just a freer, great place to live.
It's the world's largest voluntarist libertarian community, and it's only getting bigger.
That's amazing, to be able to move to a place where other people passionately believe in being free and independent.
What the Free State Project is managing to do, though, is to put their money where their mouth is. Physically getting up across the country and saying, let's go someplace and let's demonstrate the power of these ideas. There's a lot of kind of philosophy that surrounds liberty. There's a lot of thinking about it and talking about it. But here in New Hampshire, people are doing it.
101 Reasons Liberty Lives in New Hampshire, a documentary by Free State Project Early Movers. Watch it free at 101reasonsfilm.com. 101reasonsfilm.com. If you want to know the latest about Free Talk Live before we go on the air, all you need to decide is how you want it delivered. It's your choice. Visit news.freetalklive.com. You can get emailed announcements and participate in contests via our email updates list. Plus, we have a Twitter account that you can follow and a Facebook page where you can become a fan. So visit news.freetalklive.com to get news about Free Talk Live as soon as it's announced and the way you want it delivered at news.freetalklive.com. That's news.freetalklive.com.
Looking for a great real estate investment? Consider New Hampshire, which is ground zero for the Liberty Movement. Your first call should be to Mark Worden from Porcupine Real Estate. He's more than just a real estate agent. He's your New Hampshire concierge. Where are the best places to live? Do you want farm, city, the burbs, or forest? Do you want a duplex or multifamily building so that renters pay your mortgage? There are homes in all price ranges in New Hampshire, and Mark can help with financing too. Invest in liberty and property. Mark Worden can help.
PorcupineRealEstate.com.
You can sign up to receive the latest about the Liberty Radio Network via our email updates at updates.lrn.fm. That's updates.lrn.fm.
Free Talk Live. Dial in toll free in these remaining moments. We have enough time for you. If you want to join us, our number is 855-450 free like freedom. That's 855-450-3733. We're talking about the Nexivm alleged cult. Nexivm is how it's spelled. The federal government arresting a couple or few, I guess more than one or two of the top dogs allegedly behind what is ostensibly a sex slavery cult on the inside. Once you get into the deeper levels of it. And we've read a couple of stories here, but what I just stumbled across, thanks to the link on Mashable.com, where they're talking about Allison Mack, who is an actress in a show called Smallville and I guess other things. She apparently was the number 2 operative just underneath the cult leader Keith Rainier in this organization that allegedly branded women.
Hence the brand AMKR.
Yeah, which is
the way it makes more sense that she was in fact the the second up.
Right.
She was not the next friend, Darryl. She was the best friend.
And so we've been going through this. It's absolutely fascinating. And of course, obviously interested in hearing the other side of the story, because it's probably not as bad as the federal government's making it sound as though it is, and the media is probably blowing it somewhat out of proportion. Because, again, I don't understand how somebody can be considered a slave if they have signed themselves into that. If you've decided you want to be told what to do by some cult master, then that's your choice. And that's not the same thing as slavery, which, of course, people were historically either born or sold into, over
right,
time.
and there have been many debate amongst libertarians about whether or not someone is able to wind up signing over some of their sovereignty.
Indentured servitude.
Well, there are some people that say that the moment you sign over your sovereignty, you have ceased to own yourself, and then you can't do that because something. And
I think you can indenture yourself. As a libertarian, I believe you should
so
be
do
able
I.
to. If you own
I
yourself.
would say getting your vehicle registered is you're giving up your rights, and there's only one guy that I know in the state, and that's
in that
Dick
case,
Marple,
that's different because
who refuses to go through the process.
Well, what you're talking about with vehicle registration is different because you are being threatened in that case. So if you don't register your vehicle, men with guns are going to run you off the road.
What's the difference if I am a person and you're putting a collar around my neck and dragging me off to the plantations, and I know that if I don't let you put the collar on my neck, you're going to shoot me?
Well, no, that would be the same for capturing a slave, but that doesn't jibe with what's going on allegedly with Nexivm, right? These women want to join this organization. They may not know what goes on inside, but they want to join it.
But I'm talking about like voluntary indenturement.
Right,
and
that's
what we're talking about. Is that the right word?
That there are some women in the BDSM community that will sign slave contracts, meaning that they sign a contract saying, I will be your sub for X amount of time. And they have voluntarily signed over.
And they know that is going to come with some
the
freaky
Dom is
stuff.
going to control them for a period of time.
Let's go to Ricky, who might know a thing or two about that. Ricky on the line in the Commonwealth. You're on Free Talk Live. Hello, Ricky.
That's Ricky from the Commonwealth.
That's what he just said.
Oh, now you want to be called leader of the Confederacy? No, it's one or the other, buddy.
I have an exclusive.
Huh? Go ahead.
All of the above. Now, I have an exclusive for you, Brother Ian.
Yeah, let's hear it.
Well, I went out to go to the liquor store today, the state liquor store. Now, I'm very hot right now. I'm famous. Now, I was in full deputy mode when I went out. And I go in there, they see me, and I will say sometimes I don't see so good. In
Who saw you?
Wait. I thought you were a deputy of the Skype groups. You're also a deputy.
No, I'm a deputy.
You're also a deputy of the liquor store. The liquor store parking lot?
Okay, don't be jerks. I'm going to give you an exclusive. In fact, I'm going to give you evidence. I'm going to give you the report I'm going to file tonight at 12 o'clock with the officer that I called to respond. The state's screwed. Okay, I nailed them with 1, 25, and 26 in violation of the ADA, and I'll think of some other stuff later.
And who did you nail exactly?
Don't joke around. State liquor store.
You nailed the state liquor store. Okay, and under what allegation? What are you saying happened?
Because I'm Ricky from the Commonwealth, and I'm known.
That doesn't answer the question.
I'm Ricky. You're the liquor store. Therefore, you're in trouble.
I'll give you hey, Brother Freeman, I'll give you the call. You give me an exclusive privately. I'll give you the call.
I'm not giving you anything, dude. I don't care what you did, but tell me anyway because it's radio and maybe it'll be amusing.
I'm going to come to Keene, New Hampshire, because I'm going across the country. Because I'm going after pedophiles. I have to investigate.
Can you even drive?
Who said I'm driving?
So you're going to hitchhike? Greyhound bus?
He's going to jump on a horse.
Going to take the bus.
You're going to take a Greyhound bus.
It's the season for hitchhiking, by the way. There's no more snow on the ground.
By the way, that is correct. I am Garvey. I'm Preston Garvey. That's correct. And I can give an exclusive of everything.
What?
From Fallout 4, yes, that is supposed to be
Okay, that's
me.
what I thought you were saying. That's a character from a video game. You are a character.
Also, you want an exclusive? Comes with the congressman's office. I can tell you this.
Which congressman? There's 435 of them. 535.
Do you believe you really believe you're a character in a video game?
And out of all video games, Fallout?
It's a good game.
You guys got to take this seriously because you get all these things there. You know, you got to take me seriously.
No,
none of what you say makes any sense.
I got 4 terabytes of evidence. That's why I'm going out west. My buddy that I work with.
Yeah. Okay.
Wait, I thought you were coming to
4
New
terabytes.
England.
Remind him. Thanks for the call tonight. I appreciate it. Enjoy the trip out
If
west.
you keep going west, you'll eventually get to New
England.
Hampshire.
Yeah, Ricky, if you want to get to New Hampshire, go through California. And I'm all right with that.
There's
I'll
a
be an
secret
old man by
underwater highway.
Yes.
Take that one.
Well, you go to Alaska. Alaska. You go to California. You go north to Alaska, and then follow the land bridge. It's not there anymore.
I'm going to the phones here, guys. Who we have here on the line on the amp lines? Hello.
This is Jay.
Jay Freeville. Jay Noon. Hey, Jay.
Yes.
What's on your mind, dude?
I wanted to chime in a little bit about, power of attorney, involuntary servitude, slavery. So, as you guys know, I don't use a driver's license, and I happen to be traveling right now in a truck. Anyways, in Massachusetts and Vermont, I have found this to be the same with both states. I've done some no license battling there in court, both states.
Yep.
The Massachusetts one is Chapter 90, Section 3.5, and A, B, and C kind of say the same thing. And what it says is a person who applies for a license to operate a motor vehicle gives irrevocable power of attorney to the registrar of motor vehicles. Then the B and C have to do with like an automobile or trailer registration or something. And I found the same exact thing in Vermont statutes also, basically the same wording.
Well, I'm sure almost nobody who's actually gotten a driver's license was aware they were giving an irrevocable power of attorney. So
and basically signing that contract.
Yeah, arguably there was not a meeting of the minds for that particular contract, but of course the state won't care about that.
So people are unknowingly giving power of attorney to the registrar of motor vehicles, which I'm going to dig it up here in New Hampshire and find out where it is someday, because this is something I want to bring to the attention of some state representatives to be like, hey, why are you allowing this agency to, unknowingly give, taking power of attorney from people, essentially. I don't know, word it better than that, obviously, but it's something I plan on getting into in the future and having some fun with, and hopefully Darryl will help me with it when I get around to doing it.
I want to see Jay Noon run for political office. I think that'd be hilarious. I don't know if you could, though, because you're probably not registered to vote.
If he's not registered to vote, he can't run.
We're gonna need a new Dick Marple. I mean, I love Dick Marple, but he's in his 80s, so he's probably not going to last a whole lot longer. For those that don't know, we're talking about State Representative Dick Marple. If you look up his name on YouTube, you'll find some really outrageous videos where he literally yells at a judge in a courtroom and gets away with it, and has done some freedom to travel activism, has been arrested for it, Jay, and that's what you've done. You've done freedom to travel. You've never had a social security number. You don't have a driver's license.
And Dick continues to win. Get voters to vote for him every.
He wins the re-election. Yes, he has not won in court, but he.
Oh yes, exactly.
He wins re-election, and he's really entertaining and an interesting character. Jay Noon, anything else you want to share tonight?
Well, about running for a political position here on the Shire, I actually have talked to Christopher Gronsky quite a bit about doing such a thing. It's also something he's looking to do. And basically what we're looking to do, the way we're looking to go about it is running as a state national in New Hampshire.
Yeah, that deserves more discussion, but we don't have time for it tonight. And I've actually got some news in that area that you might find interesting, too, when we do talk about that, Jay. So remind me to tell you about that. But we're out of time for tonight.
Candidate filing deadline about a month and a half.
All right, more coming up tomorrow. You can join us online in the meantime. Head over to freetalklive.com.
Are you a sneezer? If you're not, can you get close to one? I don't literally mean someone sneezing. Sneezer, as defined by marketing guru Seth Godin, is an opinion leader. When a sneezer mentions something, other people catch what Godin calls the idea virus. Seth Godin says some people are more likely to tell their friends about a great new idea. So identifying and courting sneezers is a key success factor for idea merchants. His book, Unleashing the Idea Virus, is the most downloaded ebook in history, and you can download the whole book free. That's how he's making his idea contagious. Click tips, tricks, and other stuff to help you cut through the clutter at www.survivalspeech.com. I'm Holland Cook.
Are you tired of governments around the world killing innocent people? Stop using their money. There is an alternative. Bitcoin is a stateless, free market, non-political currency. Bitcoin is money that cannot be inflated or controlled by any state. By continuing to use their money, you're perpetuating the killing. Stop doing it. You have an incredible alternative available to you now. Learn it, use it, spread it.
Get started with Bitcoin at Bitcoin.com. It's Bitcoin.com.
Some of you asked, and now we've delivered. LRN.FM's live Keene, New Hampshire studio shows are now streamed in HD on Twitch. Visit our channel at twitch.lrn.fm and give it a follow. If you have Amazon Prime, you get one free subscription on Twitch. If you use it on our channel, Twitch will give LRN.FM a monthly piece of your Prime subscription cost. So please watch, follow, share, and subscribe to twitch.lrn.fm. That's twitch.lrn.fm.
The latest episode of Declare Your Independence is next, after the news, here on the Liberty Radio Network, LRN.FM.
From Keene in the Shire, the Liberty Media capital of the world, this is Darryl W. Perry, host of FPP Radio News for Wednesday, April 25th, 2018. Silver is trading at $16.54 per ounce. Gold is valued at $1,320 per ounce. Zencash is trading at $35, and the average price of Bitcoin is $9,111. Antiwar.com reports South Korea has turned off its propaganda loudspeakers as a gesture of goodwill ahead of Friday's summit with North Korea's Kim Jong-un. This is the first time in over 2 years that South Korea has shut off the loudspeakers aimed at North Korea. South Korea's giant wall of speakers broadcast news reports boasting of their prosperity, aiming it at both North Korean border troops and villages near the border. They occasionally play music or radio dramas, though the main point is to demoralize the other side. A spokesman told reporters the move was intended to ease military tensions ahead of Friday's summit and also to set a new tone. South Korean officials would not say if the loudspeakers would remain off after the summit. The expectation, though, was that the summit will include more discussions of a peace treaty, formally ending the Korean War, which is still officially ongoing since 1950.